Our Usher.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
Fire crews are at the Somerset Hotel in Para Hills. There was an alarm just after 5. Firefighters arriving at the Bridge Road address to find smoke coming from the roof. The incident is continuing. A driver has blown nearly 4 times the legal limit while breath tested with a child in the car. It happened on Anglevale Road at Hillier. The hatchback was stopped after being busted doing 74 in a 60 zone. The 34-year-old man allegedly returning a reading of .229. He's been summoned to front court. Well, an Australian first in local public high schools, an AI chatbot is being rolled out from today. The software, known as EdChat, is being billed as a classroom companion. 2 new opinion polls show support for the coalition has crashed as One Nation surges. Michael Packey reports.
The latest surveys conducted by the Resolve Political Monitor and Newspoll show support for the coalition sits at a paltry 27%. It follows a week of internal bickering over the sacking of Liberal Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price. Both polls also show Labor's primary vote is static, but once preferences are taken into account, the Albanese-led government enjoys a lead of up to 16 points over the opposition. The Resolve survey reveals much of the coalition support is moving to One Nation, with the minor party's primary vote jumping from 9 to 12% in just 1 month.
Well, the Prime Minister has been forced out of his electoral office in Sydney's inner west after repeated protests. Jack Hahn has the story.
Anthony Albanese's office in Marrickville has been open for 30 years, but this morning it shut up shop. Electoral staff will be working from home for the foreseeable future after the PM was booted from the office block. It's understood the Anglican Church, which owns the building, made the request after the site was subject of multiple major protests, particularly since conflict broke out in the Middle East in 2023. The federal opposition has slammed the shutdown, calling it a victory for political intimidation.
Award season has arrived. The Emmys will be handed out today. Kate Blanchett is flying the Aussie flag with a nomination for Disclaimer. The studio on Apple has a record 23 nods, including a nomination for Seth Rogen for lead actor in a comedy.
Yeah, I'm honoured. One of the people that gets to choose, which movies get made and which ones don't. That's huge. And I got into all this because I love movies, but now I have this fear that my job is to ruin them.
Now turning to 5AA's sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Mel. Glenelg's hopes of winning 3 premierships in a row for the first time in the club's history remain alive after a thrilling 2-point win against Norwood. They'll now take on Sturt in the grand final. Well, meantime, Hawthorn veteran Luke Bruce has played his final game in the brown and gold after suffering a season-ending ACL knee injury. The 34-year-old's right knee became twisted whilst laying a tackle in the VFL prelim final. Well, Jessica Hull is among the medal favourites for the 1,500-metre final after a second placing in her semi-final at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo.
I think I just have to put myself in it. I have to give myself a chance. And when you're going up against Faith Kipyegon, you just have to be brave and be bold and willing to just send it and go for broke. So, yeah, I'll be putting myself in it with her on Tuesday night, and we'll see what that looks like.
Meantime, Reece Holder continued his good form, qualifying through to the 400-metre semi-finals. Let's go to soccer. Liverpool's perfect start to the English Premier League season's continued after a 1-0 away against Burnley. Mo Salah with a penalty in the 95th minute.
Salah, Liverpool, top of the Premier League. 4 games played, 4 games won. Mohamed Salah, in the dying embers at Turf Moor, breaks Burnley hearts.
Yeah, amazing scenes, that audio, thanks to Stan Sport. There was one other game overnight with Manchester City, 3-0 winners over Man United. And that's the 5AA sport.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers developing and 25 today. Showers tomorrow 17. Wednesday a possible morning shower 17. And then Thursday back to 24. Right now it's 18 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Steinborner has done it again. The Jack T9 Ute has landed at Jack Motors in Gawler. Enjoy a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, 7-year unlimited K warranty, 7-year roadside assist and 7-year capped price servicing. The Jack T9 impresses with a turbocharged diesel engine, 4x4 dual-range transmission, 3-tonne towing capacity, and it can easily handle a full-size Aussie pallet with a 1,045-kilo payload. All this from $39,990 drive away. Jack Motors. It's well worth the trip. Gawler, Barossa and Clare, or at gawlerjackmotors.com.au.
Shane from Drummond Golf, you've been busy turning good golfers into great golfers.
We certainly have, Rowie. We have the best gear for golfers at all levels. And with the price match guarantee, you know you'll get the best for less.
And you'll improve their game with Mini Golf Max, big swing simulators and My Match Expert fitting. You've helped me, Shane. I shot over 200 metres the other day.
What, in the right direction, Timmy?
That's the next lesson, boys.
Lift your game with Drummond Golf, Australia's biggest golf retailer.
When it comes to retirement, make your choice Living Choice Australia. Experience the difference at Living Choice Flagstaff Hill on Wednesday, 24th of September with tours, information sessions and a keynote speech from former media professional Marcus Pearce.
Marcus is a former journalist, radio and TV producer, and he's obsessed with helping people create their exceptional life. He'll share powerful insight on longevity, purpose and thriving in retirement while giving a vibrant new outlook on retirement living.
Whether you're planning ahead or actively exploring retirement living, this event is your chance to connect, learn and be inspired. Find your future and make Living Choice your choice for retirement.
Living Choice Flagstaff Hill, Wednesday 24th September at 10:30am. RSVP at livingchoice.com.au.
Your old hot water system can drive as much as 40% of your energy bill. Fortunately, you can upgrade to something that's 70% cheaper to run thanks to Right Price. They're the leaders in heat pumps and installation. Now's the time to upgrade and save money on a more efficient hot water system and take advantage of government incentives and free installation. Reduce your energy costs today with a heat pump from Right Price. Make the switch with Right Price Hot Water.
At Right Price, heating and cooling, you can get the price right at Right Price.
Sitting on the loo struggling to poo? Here's some great news. Introducing new Caruso's Poo Ease Probiotic. Caruso's Poo Ease Probiotic combines the herb cascara, traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to increase bowel evacuation and relieve constipation, plus 5 billion friendly bacteria to support gut health. So if you're fed up sitting on the loo struggling to poo and would like to poo more, try Caruso's Poo Ease Probiotic today. From leading pharmacies and health stores, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
A new elevated shopping experience awaits at Burnside Village. With a 2-story Mecca flagship store, Coco Republic, JB Hi-Fi, Uniqlo, Style Runner, Kavari, July and much more. Burnside Village. Fashion, dining, lifestyle. BurnsideVillage.com.au.
Monday on 5AA Breakfast is the 15th of September. We've got a lot to talk about on the program today. We're off to the US. Miley Hogan is at the Emmys, the 77th Emmys on the way. It's a slim list of nominees from the Australian front. Kate Blanchett's on there, but there's not a whole lot more. We'll talk about that before 7 o'clock. Also, very shortly, this wonderful story about the nuns that fled a care home in Austria to go back to their convent. All aged in their late 80s, they said enough's enough and they got out. We're going to be chatting with Jacqueline Robson for 7 News over in Europe about this story. It's a cracker. Then after 7 o'clock, what's the go with the state government introducing its very own AI chatbot in South Australian schools? Other states aren't doing this. South Australia trying to get the jump on the rest of the country. Is it a good idea or not? We're going to hopefully we'll be chatting with the Education Minister a little bit later in the morning. We'll talk algal bloom as well. There's a lot going on. Sandful footy, Sturter in the grand final. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
So are the Bays. A big win yesterday. Crikey, poor old Norwood. I tell you what.
That shot for goal. It was heartbreaking, wasn't it?
I've got quite a few Norwood mates, believe it or not. One of them's in Sydney, and he was planning to come over. And we've been sledging each other pretty much weekly since we met in about 1990. And when Sturt Norwood fans get together, all roads generally lead to only one thing, 1978. Now, I didn't come up with this statistic because it's too cruel, but my mate Simon did.
he said for the stats nerds, the 7 goals 13 that Norwood kicked yesterday is exactly half of 14 goals 26. To which he wrote, a scoreline that will no doubt be etched on your brain.
That is superb.
It's the only time in my life that someone's used the score from the 1978 grand final and brought a smile to my face. But I tell you what, commiserations, Norwood. They played valiantly. This time 8 weeks ago, they were miles off. They weren't even making the 5.
It almost felt like they were going to peak at the perfect time.
I was more worried about playing Norwood than the Bays, in a way. Because Norwood running on self-belief, but crikey, bad kicking. It is bad footy, isn't it? And, more credit to Glenelg going for 3 in a row. And that's another 5 minutes where we don't have to talk about AFL.
Well, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to run from our demons. We're not going to hide. In fact, we're going to confront them head on. First hour this morning. We've got Kent Town Hotel a voucher valued $100. You can book the balcony bar upstairs at the Kent Town Hotel. Your own bar for up to 80 people.
That's pretty good.
Give us your best Crows joke. Your Crows sledge. This is it. You've got 1 hour until 7 o'clock, and we're not hearing it after that. All right? There's an amnesty on our pride.
How are you coping, Will? Because you are more into footy than me. How are you coping?
Oh yeah, but I was far less optimistic than you.
Yeah. My optimism was shattered in about 90 seconds.
At least the Band-Aid was ripped off, wasn't it?
Oh, there was never any moment where I thought, maybe a little bit in the second quarter.
Late in the first quarter, I thought, when it was back to a go, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
The machine's rumbling into gear. And the wheels came off the machine. It didn't rumble into gear.
It's horrible, isn't it?
I'll get us started with the sledges. It is now a statistical reality that the Crows could improve their finals performance by hiring Ken Hinkley.
Please.
It is. It literally is. 822 hit us with your worst or your best.
Don't you think that last quarter...
04808
Have you ever felt like something went for vastly longer than it did than that quarter?
No, it felt like it went for about 6 months.
It was like watching a rom-com that went for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there going, I'm trapped in hell. In fact, I had the debate with Kate. I said, what about, we don't have to stay here.
Yeah, the sneak out.
Yeah. I've just got to go to the toilet. At home.
I left something in the key. 13 minutes after 6, we're going to jump into the news headlines in just a moment. Hit us with your best sledge if you've got a $100 Kent Town Hotel voucher. We've got one if you want it coming your way.
It's time for Explorer Caravan's spring stock clearance at 583 Grand Junction Road. Explorer Caravans is clearing all stock. Save big dollars on leading Aussie brands like Franklin, Viscount and Titanium with vans ready to go. Talk to our experts for all the info and tips. Then get a great deal on a new caravan ready to hit the road and chase the sun. Explorer Caravan Spring Stock Clearance, corner Grand Junction and Prospect Roads.
Got a growing family? At Rendition Homes, we know life gets louder, busier, and somehow messier. That's why we design homes with space to grow. Room for the kids, the dog, even your sanity. Open plan for chaotic dinners and quiet nooks for homework. We listen to what you need now and what you'll need next. That's why we create homes that are homemade for you. To see our latest display homes, visit renditionhomes.com.au.
If you love your home, but you've never been in love with your kitchen, well, the answer is not far away.
No, it's just 15 minutes up the freeway, in fact, because that's where you'll find Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It boasts the largest kitchen design showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Plus, it's a family business with 35 years' experience, so they care about taking care of you.
And their expertise goes further than kitchens. They create laundries, linen cupboards, robes and vanities, plus all cabinet installations are backed by a 10-year warranty.
Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream kitchen a reality. See more at balhannakitchens.com.au.
Go Harvey Norman Footy Finals. Invite all the fans to watch the big games with your new big screen TV. Buy now with hot deals on selected big brand TVs. Plus, get bonus local delivery and installation. Take care of halftime drinks with a new fridge and get bonus local delivery. That's right. Buy a selected fridge now at Harvey Norman and get bonus local delivery. Get set for the big games at Harvey Norman now. Best brands, best range, best prices. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. Plan your next getaway with the experts at Spark Travel, where every journey begins with a friendly conversation. King William Street in the city or sparktravel.com.au.
5AA puts the spotlight on great NDIS companies like Anglicare SA. I'm chatting with Louise to learn more about their Autism Specific Centre. Tell us a little bit about who it's for and what it's about.
Thanks, Leith. We provide exceptional early learning and care for autistic children at Anglicare SA's Daphne Street Autism Specific Centre. Our state-of-the-art facility in Prospect offers expert education and specialised therapies from speech pathology to occupational therapy. Our experience in allied health, education and early learning services helps us to ensure every child's unique needs are met.
So, Louise, what's the focus for the development of the children?
We focus on enhancing your child's social communication, emotional regulation and overall development, and it's all delivered in a long daycare setting.
Thank you, Louise. Louise from Anglicare SA's Daphne Street Autism Specific Centre. Great stuff. Keep listening for more NDIS companies like Anglicare SA, changing lives across South Australia. On 5AA, always Adelaide.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
16 after 6. We're going to get into the news headlines in just a moment. Debbie in South Plympton's called in. No morning to you, Debbie.
Morning, lads. Here's my sledge for the Crows. Go Hawthorn.
Oh, no. Deary me. You a Hawks fan or just a happy Port fan, Debbie?
Well, my husband is a Melbourne person. He's been a Hawks fan. He's 50.
Okay.
He's been a Hawks member his whole life. But so I'm a Hawks fan by default. But, mate, they weren't even going to make the finals 5 weeks ago, the Hawks.
Yep.
And now, looks like we're going to play the grand final.
Well, 5 weeks ago, that's when everyone was saying the Crows were going to win the premiership.
Yeah. Who's
life can spin on a dime.
Mark's got the receipts. He's been holding on to this. Mark says, boys, the best Crows joke. Rewind the radio log back to August 4, 6:15 to 6:18, when a certain Will Goodings implored the Crows faithful to dare to dream.
Well, you need to
Mark's
dream.
been holding on to that. It's...
Oh, people, this is a weird thing about football. People remember things for millennia.
Did I take 3 minutes to say dare to dream? Crikey, I was a bit over the top that morning. Rob in Clearview, good morning.
G'day, mate. Got a new name for Mark Bean. We're going to call him Caravan because he was following Gunston around all night.
No, I'll tell you what, he's no orphan there. It's easy to... It doesn't take long to talk about who was best on ground for Adelaide, but yeah, no, fair point. Good on you, mate.
18 minutes after 6. Let's jump into the news headlines. Of course, every sledge is in the running to win a $100 Kent Town Hotel voucher this morning. Fire crews currently fighting a blaze at the Somerset Hotel in Para Hills. Crews were responding to a fire alarm just after 5 and arrived to find smoke showing from the roof of the hotel. That incident is an ongoing one. A young woman has filmed the moment that she was sexually harassed on an Adelaide train. She's now calling for greater protection on public transport. Jessica was travelling on the Gawler line on Saturday when she was harassed by an unknown man. Have a listen to some of the audio and Jessica appearing on 9 News last night. In fact, we don't have Jessica yet. We'll get to that in just a second. The state's safety watchdog and health chiefs have warned South Australians to work with or that do work with or near livestock to protect themselves against the potentially deadly Q virus. Ahead of spring, Q fever. It's a type of virus. Figures reveal 18 cases have been reported to SA Health so far this year, compared to 23 infected patients in 2024, 21 throughout 2023, and just 6 back in 2022. So it is an issue.
Q fever sounds like a bit like something you would have got where you'd actually just lapse into a coma watching that incredibly boring final on Saturday night. Seriously.
Yeah.
Not a good weekend for neutral fans of footy, was it?
No, they're all blowouts, really.
Well, you should have watched SANFL
crap.
or yesterday's NRL game.
I've heard that was amazing.
Oh, God almighty. Golden point.
I tell you what's not close, news poll. The Federal Coalition has just recorded its lowest primary vote ever on record.
There are European carp that are polling better than Susan Lee as well.
The primary vote is at 27%. 27%. So they started counting this. A news poll started in 1985, so it's nearly, it's 40 years.
Yeah.
For 40 years, no one has polled, or the coalition's never polled this slowly. The slump means that two-party preferred's 58-42, which is, it's ludicrous. It's as strong as the Prime Minister's position's been over the course of this term.
You know, the thing that really amazes me about this, and should really trouble the Libs, and I know Terry and Emily Beach will go, oh, come on, you never give him credit. What has Albo actually done since he became Prime Minister? Again, since he got re-elected, what's been the defining Albo thing?
Well, I think
trying to get a meeting with Donald Trump. Like, what's been the big breakthrough moment?
Well, there hasn't been one. He's just not Susan Lee.
I know.
That's it.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
This is remarkable.
Dave from Albany's
story.
on the line.
It's Monday
just keep
morning.
Talking, Will. Dave from Albany's on the line.
All right, I'll filibuster.
Stretch this one out.
Authorities have still. There are no sightings of Desi Freeman. So this is the biggest manhunt in Australian history, biggest police manhunt in Victorian history. No sign of him. Assistant Commissioner Russell Barrett says police from across Australia and New Zealand are now taking part in the operation, but no.
Don't you reckon it feels like this guy, given what his political views were, he was a full-blown enemy of the state and sort of doomsday prepper. I think it's eminently possible he had some sort of perfectly serviceable long-term compound set up in a secret location that he just went to after this happened.
That or he's not alive.
Yeah, well, there is option 2. Don't want to say which one I prefer, but I think, you know, some sort of resolution of this will be nice for the families of those poor
and
police.
the community.
Well,
imagine living in that town.
I know.
Let's go to Alberton for our sins. Dave Lloyd's on the line. Go on, Dave. We built this competition just for you.
Do I get the whole hour? No. Look, seriously, just wanted to ring in. Obviously, it hurts going out in straight sets. We know that. I just wanted to confirm that the pain, it does linger for a lot longer than what you think. Every time you think you've shaken it off, well, it'll pop its head up and remind you that it did occur. So have that in mind. And I think a couple of weeks ago you had a guy, I think it was from the Project podcast on, who made a real emphasis on the fact that Port weren't playing finals this year. Well, as it turns out, neither did Adelaide. So shout out to the Crom fans.
Dave. We both won the same amount of quarters in the finals, didn't we, Dave?
That's exactly right. We're going to talk about the footy with Rennie very shortly. Get your sledges out. This is it. There's 38 minutes remaining in this, and after that, we're not hearing any more of it. Let's head to Europe. Jacqueline Robson for 7 News covering. This is remarkable, this story. 3 Austrian nuns in their 80s ran away from their retirement home.
This is a great story.
And went back to their former convent. Jacqueline, good morning to you. Just bring us up to speed with these 3 ladies, how they got out and why they wanted to return.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, what an incredible story. These 3 nuns say that they were taken into this retirement home against their will. The church authorities are saying that they weren't able to look after themselves in this convent, and 2 of them got unwell, so they were moved into this care home, they believe temporarily, but then, almost 2 years have passed, and they said, you know what, we're done with this. We want to go back to the convent where we're happy. So they, tugged on the heartstrings of their former students and the villagers, and they broke out of their nursing home. They got a locksmith in so they could get back into the convent. They've set up water and electricity, and now they're living in there against the church's wishes. But they're really winning the PR war, that's for sure. They've got an Instagram account showing how mobile and active they are. They had a doctor come in to prove that they're well enough to look after themselves. So a bit of a battle of, the 2 here.
The thing I find weird, though, Jacqueline, is the church seemed quite angry about this. I would have thought it's a heartwarming story and a bit of a tale of Christian charity as well, and the initiative they used to break in is amazing. But the church seemed a bit put out that they've done this.
I believe there was a transfer between some of the, people within the church, and the convent wasn't used anymore. So I think there was an idea that it would be transferred to someone else and it would be used in a different way. They certainly don't want these nuns in there. I think They will say that they're worried about their health, but the nuns are clearly saying that they are healthy enough and they do plan to die in the convent. They said that they would rather die in a meadow than be in a nursing home. So trying to get them out may be difficult. The church did say they had to trick them into getting into the nursing home to begin with. So don't mess with the nuns and their vows. And they say they've taken a vow to stay in this convent, and that's what they plan to do.
Good on them. God bless them. Jacqueline Robson there for 7 News in Europe.
It's
What a great story.
The picture of them is brilliant.
I love that they went to the trouble of getting a locksmith lined up. It was like, proper jailbreak type scenario.
The option on this movie script has already been bought, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
This is a movie before the end of next year, I reckon.
But it is actually, there's a broader and melancholy point to be made about, and this isn't a knock on aged care, even though I'm sure that we know for a fact that there are some aged care places that shouldn't exist. Some of them are so bad. A lot of them are terrific. A lot of them are absolutely fantastic. But there's still a human point to be made about that is the toughest conversation of all, isn't it? Look, you really can't look after yourself anymore. We've decided, we all feel that. And if you're 86, 87, 88, you know how that sentence is going to end. It's a horrible thing.
Peter Gers wrote about it over the weekend, about the horrors of his friends going into aged care.
His columns are so good.
Yeah, I thought...
I love Peter Gers' columns.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. That is it spot on. I've got family members in aged care. Everyone listening have. And people will have seen scenes akin to what he described, and perhaps ironically, he used Sound of Music. He said one of the places he's got friends in, you lie in a bed as Sound of Music plays on all day and on repeat until you die.
I hate that movie.
Me too. I would feel like I'd already descended into the pits of hell.
Yeah, I'd feel like I was in hell. High on a hill with a lonely goat. Imagine that.
Oh, dear.
Imagine waking up to that every morning.
Oh, dear. 20...
Sorry, I'll never do that again on air, Will.
That was quite horrifying. Top of 25 we're expecting today, and up to 10 mils of rain. It's going to feel like far north Queensland today. Then for the rest of the week, it'll be a bit more relatable. Tomorrow, 17 and up to 8 mils of rain, so a bit of rain over the next 2 days. Then Wednesday, 17 and up to a mil of rain. Thursday becomes warm again, 24 and sunny. Then the rain returns for Friday, 18 and up to 9 mils of rain. Saturday, we get 16 and up to 10 mils of rain, and 17 on Sunday and up to 3 mils of rain. So really, what are we looking at? The only dry days are probably Wednesday and Thursday. The only definite dry day is Thursday. Other than that, we should get a decent bit of rain over the course of this week. Tom Redders in the 5AA Breakfast Studios. Could be one of the easiest winners and losers he's ever had to put together.
Make it short, Tom. We haven't got all day.
Yeah. All thanks to Gliderol. Order a new door with operator before the end of September. Receive 2 extra handsets. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, boys. Yeah, really disappointing. I know you've touched on it already, but the Crows clearly the big losers. First in 42 years, minor premiers to go out in straight sets. Look, I've got no doubt they won't talk about it. I think illness absolutely ravaged them. I think it was worse this week than it was last week. That said, full credit to Hawthorn. The Crows were flat. Questions have to be asked about, coaching decisions, Rochelle starting on the bench, the first week in particular, Berry going to Newcombe and getting, that first quarter was a clinic from John Newcombe. Riley O'Brien probably had his worst game of the year. Mm-hmm. The issue they've got now is, much like Hawthorn, who went out in the same stage last year, but they had an easy draw. Then this year, Hawthorn have had a much harder draw. That's what Adelaide's facing. So how aggressive do they want to be, because they've finished in the top 6 in the trade period? The Hawks went out and got Tom Barrass. Sam Mitchell makes no bones about going after opposition captains. How bold do the Crows want to be? Do they rely?
They have to be, Rennie.
Do they rely on organic growth?
No.
Or do they go out there and say, Zach Bailey, Zach Merritt, Clayton Oliver, there's the piece of paper. What do you want?
Well, it's so obvious what the Adelaide Football Club needs. They need someone who starts in the middle for the first bounce in round 1 next year, ready to go.
Yep.
But that's the weakness. There's so much strength. So they've been bossed in the midfield for 6 weeks.
Yep.
So you got to spend what it takes.
It's how chips in do you want to go? And I think they've done really well with their recruiting and their drafting. And I think probably the other thing they need to do next year as well is, I think they missed a trick. Now, it's easy in hindsight, but Sam Draper didn't play much football, did he? Sid Draper, sorry. Yeah. Sam plays for Essendon. They probably need to play him a bit more and find out if he can be this midfielder that I think everyone's hoping he can be. So, really disappointing. You don't it's hard to get there. But now the art is, and Campo spoke about this post-game, they've got to sell to the players, we can get you back there.
You're exactly right, Reddy. I actually think the reality is at the end of next year, they're probably going to finish 6th, 7th, something like that. But I think be a way better team than they are this year.
Yes.
Because they're going to, obviously the draw we spoke about, Carl Gallagher is the only guy on the injured list. That's never going to happen again. You're never getting to September with one guy on the injury list.
Yeah.
You look at every other team, there's a half a dozen. So those two things aren't going to happen. They're going to have to go through a much more difficult draw. I think they'll be better for it. But we're going to look at the ladder and go, they've gone backwards from last year. They won't have gone backwards.
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the vagaries of the fixture, isn't it?
Right.
So we could go on for hours. Look, other losers, Aussie Tennis, they lost the Davis Cup. Man United, they are nowhere at the moment. Glenelg, they're on track for their first ever three-peat. They're going to have to beat your mighty Double Blues, though. Pembo, but that was a great win for the Bays yesterday against Norwood. Brodie Kostecki, Todd Hazelwood won the Bend event yesterday, the Enduro, which was good. And Liverpool, again, winner thriller, was unbelievable. And Sam Kerr scored for the first time in almost 2 years back from an ACL, so that's good news for her.
What was the Man United score?
3-0 down to Man City. Ruben Amorim, it would be pretty fearful of his job at the moment, I would think. They are nowhere.
Good on you, Rennie.
Any word on whether Sam's made it home in the taxi yet?
Thank you, Rennie.
Hopefully. Thanks, boys.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers developing and 25 today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
There's a pub fire in the northern suburbs. The alarm was raised at the Somerset Hotel in Para Hills just after 5 this morning. The MFS arriving at the Bridge Road address to find smoke coming from the roof. They remain at the scene. A helping hand for teachers in our public high schools. An AI chatbot is being rolled out from today. EdChat can do a range of things like grade work and draft reports. Its introduction follows a recent trial involving 10,000 teenagers. 2 new opinion polls paint a less than rosy picture for the coalition. The Resolve Political Monitor and News Poll have One Nation picking up the disaffected coalition vote. But both surveys have Labor continuing to hold a massive lead over the opposition, two-party preferred. Well, opposition leader Susan Lee has given her frontbench team a shake-up after she dumped a high-profile Liberal senator. More from Michael Packey.
Ms Lee has shuffled a few portfolios following Jacinta Price's move to the back bench. Senator Price was dumped as Shadow Defence Industry Minister after she repeatedly failed to express confidence in Ms Lee's leadership. Another Price, the West Australian MP Melissa Price, now moves into the role, relinquishing her position as the opposition's cyber security spokesperson. That now goes to Liberal Senator Claire Chandler. The other big winner is Simon Kennedy, who enters the Shadow Executive with a focus on artificial intelligence and the digital economy.
The Prime Minister is travelling to Port Moresby today for the 50th anniversary of Papua New Guinea's independence. Anthony Albanese will attend anniversary celebrations and meet with PNG's Prime Minister. He says Papua New Guinea is one of Australia's closest neighbours and the truest of friends. There's been a surge in the number of STDs in Australia. Gail Watson has the story.
Over the past decade, the number of people diagnosed with syphilis in Australia has almost doubled. Gonorrhea has almost tripled, while cases of chlamydia remain high. HIV, the only one that's on the decline. New national surveillance data being released to the Australasian HIV and AIDS conference in Adelaide by the Kirby Institute calls out the significant gaps in sexual health testing in Australia. They say higher rates of STIs are also being recorded among Australia's First Nations peoples.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
What's happening in the Sandford, Tom Rent?
Well, Mel, footy first, as you say, and Glenelg's got a chance for their first three-peat after coming from behind to beat Norwood by 2 points in yesterday's preliminary final. The Bays to now take on Sturt in the season decider. In the AFL, Brisbane champion Lachie Neale's keeping optimistic he'll be able to return for the grand final should the Lions qualify. The dual Brownlow winner is recovering from a calf injury and will miss Saturday's prelim against Collingwood. Teammate Jared Berry says they've got depth, though, with Will and Levi Ashcroft to cover the champion line.
That sort of is a testament to Lockie himself with the amount of work that he puts into, those next crop of young midfielders, inside mids coming through. The Ashcroft boys and the likes have been able to fill that hole to a sense.
Meantime, a win for the Crows women, taking care of Hawthorn by 21 points to cement their spot in the top 8. To motorsport, Brodie Kostecki and Todd Hazelwood have again showed they're the masters of the enduro races, with the reigning Bathurst champions proving too good to take out yesterday's event at the Bend racetrack.
As the reigning Bathurst champion, Brodie is once again the master of endurance racing as a winner at the Bend.
Audio there thanks to Fox. Cam Waters and Mark Winterbottom was second, while Matt Payne and Garth Tander finished third. A thrilling game in the NFL this morning with the Dallas Cowboys edging out the New York Giants in overtime. Cricket Brandon Aubrey drilled a huge field goal to put the match into overtime before winning it for his team with another 46-yard attempt with only a few seconds left in OT.
Aubrey got it into overtime and now wins it. What a ball game. Cowboys in OT.
Audio there thanks to ESPN. And there were 2 games in the English Premier League overnight. Liverpool 1-0 winners over Burnley, while Manchester City smashed Man United 3-0. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers developing, a top of 25 for your Monday. Showers tomorrow 17. Wednesday a possible morning shower 17. And Thursday 24. Right now it is 18 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
23 minutes to 7. It was the Sydney Olympics. It is 25 years today that the Sydney Olympics got underway. We're going to be
25.
We'll be reflecting a bit on that after 7 o'clock today. But if you were there, call us. We want to chat to as many people. If you've got memories of what you were doing, give us a buzz. We'd love to hear from you on 8223 000. We'll get into that after 7 o'clock this morning.
I was sitting in a room with Phil Curry, Annabelle Crabb and Malcolm Farr, going to the chiefs of staff. There were 4 chiefs of staff. There were about 80 journos for news covering the Olympics in Sydney. We had a little team of 4 to do, political stories coming out of if there's a diplomatic incident, some sort of terror issue or security issue. The whole thing just ran like clockwork. Nothing went wrong. It was the most perfect 2.5 weeks in the history of Sydney. A city that is often so dysfunctional. We had nothing to do. So we're just sitting there and we thought, we got these passes. Can we just go and watch some sport? By the end of the games, we'd been to about 20 things.
That's fantastic.
Ridiculous.
Love to hear from you if you were there. We will remember the Sydney Olympics after 7 o'clock this morning. Before we look back, we're looking ahead. Sanford Grand Final coming up. It's going to be fantastic. Glenelg Sturt, it's the Penberthy-Ellis family rivalry.
Don't talk about it.
Darren Chandler is the Sanford CEO. He joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Darren, good morning to you.
Good morning. And, what a day yesterday and what a grand final we got this week.
I tell you what, the final series has been sensational, Darren. It's good to see crowds pretty strong as well. It's holding up nicely there, SANFL, isn't it?
Yeah, crowd's really strong. Broadcast numbers really, really good. More radio stations, including AA, covering the game. So, we've been delighted, and there's been some outstanding footy, and it's a credit to our clubs.
So what's the plan for Saturday? What are you expecting? 25? Hopefully 30, Darren?
Oh, we'd like to get over 30. We had 35 last year for Glenelg Norwood, 33, 34 I think it was the year before for Glenelg Sturt. It's a festival of footy, so we're celebrating everything about footy in the state on Sunday. We've got our Futures game, our under-17 best talent in the state playing at 9 o'clock, the reserves at 11. Some pretty exciting pre-match entertainment, the GF, and then we're actually having an after-party in the McGarry room. So it's a real celebration of footy. We've got our partners activating. We've got school and Sanford Juniors presentations. We've got our Inclusive League presentation at the ground. We've got a parade of champions for Sanford Juniors clubs. So we're cramming as much as we possibly can in on Sunday, and it's a great day for the family.
Unfortunately, we don't have a whole heap of data points on this, but I'm intrigued as to your instincts, Darren, when it comes to the impact of the Crows being in or out late in September on Sandful action. Do smitten Crows fans end up falling back to Sandful and getting passionately behind it when the team's out? Are they more into footy when the team's going well? Does it make an impact either way, do you think?
Oh, I think the fact that footy's just up and about when the Crows are in is a really good thing. But look, we know that a number of Glenelg Sturt fans are Crows fans, so they can pick up from their disappointment on Friday night and then jump straight back on the footy bandwagon and get behind Sturt and Glenelg and get out there on Sunday and have a great day and finish the year off in a really positive fashion.
You got a tip, Darren?
Oh, look, you can't go past Sturt the way they played last week. They were outstanding. They've been the best team all year. But we know Glenelg just find a way to compete and win, and they've won 2 in a row. They're aiming for the first time in history of the club, 3 on the trot. So it just sets it up for just a brilliant game of footy this weekend. And 2 really, really strong clubs. They've got their reserves in the grand final as well, which is an outstanding achievement and a credit to the way they develop their young players in junior programs at both clubs.
We should pay a bit of credit to Norwood too. They had, if you told anyone 10 weeks ago that Norwood were not only going to make the finals but almost make the grand final and miss out by a kick, they would have laughed at you. Well, it was an astonishing finish to the year, and they almost replicated. I think they were the first club to do it, weren't they? Make and win a granny from 5th.
I think they were. It was 84, and
yeah.
Jade Sheedy should take a lot of credit. He comes into a club and they turned the list over a little bit. I think zipping 5, and he just stuck to his task. And they had a number of players out injured, and they gradually got them back in, and they played some amazing footy. And look, to be honest, they were probably the best side yesterday, but unfortunately you got to kick straight. So
that's right.
Glenelg, snuck over the line, but yeah, Jade's done an amazing job, and Norwood are a great footy club. They'll only be bigger and better and stronger next year.
Well, we'll be there on Sunday, Darren. It's going to be a cracking day. Hopefully your tip comes true. Congratulations on a good season, Darren. It's been another wonderful year for local grassroots SANFL football.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it, and look forward to Sunday.
Good on you, mate. Darren Chandler there, the SANFL CEO.
Big week ahead. Bernard, I think it's Bernard on the text line, on the Police Home Care text line, is looking back. He's highlighted a snippet from the paper and says ramping has got a long history in South Australia. 1954, an injured woman was kept waiting 30 minutes for an ambulance after a crash between 2 cars and a tram at the intersection of Wakefield, Hanson and Pulteney Streets. Well, I think that's not ramping. That's the kind of thing the government says they're fixed. That's response times, isn't it?
Yeah. We're going to try to get Thomas Playford on to explain himself.
Labor will fix response times, as they said famously.
They put up all these placards back then, except they're all drawn by hand in cursive. The Playford government will fix the ramping crisis.
They will have been spectacular.
Hearing me.
8223 is our number. You've got 17 minutes to get your sledges in. We're 17 minutes of Crows sledges, and then we're putting a lid on it. We've got Debbie, we've got Dave, who are in the running to win the $100 Kent Town voucher. It could well be you as well if you call in on 8223 or text us on the Police Home Care text line.
I get the sense that a lot of the people who are doing all the talking today are Port people. Crows fans really just do not want to know about it. And I'll tell you what, that was our feeling Friday night. Normally you can't wait to put the radio on after the game for the drive home, but it was like, can we just listen to some classical music or something? I just
oh no, I think Talkback was going all right.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was like anything to change my mind, to get my mind off it.
We will get Rowy's thoughts after 7:20. He was in it up to his neck. So looking forward to talking to him after 7 o'clock this morning. 16 minutes to 7. Let's check traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luva House.
Thanks, Will. And morning, David. Roads aren't looking too bad for the runner today, which is good. Got some traffic lights on the blink at the moment. It's Sturt, just at the intersection of Mauer Road and South Road, causing too many delays, which is good. We are starting to get busy. South Road, Thippers in both directions. You'll find works today at Redwood Park, Hancock Road near Littler Drive, and also activity at Hillbank this morning, Blacktop Road near Williams Road. Cameras Adelaide Terrace, Edwardstown and Hallett Road at Stonyfell. Krispy Kreme is bringing the joy with the houses of Harry Potter Donut Collection, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin and Gryffindor. Limited time only at OTR and Krispy Kreme stores. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Trev in Nova Gardens has called in with a sledge for us. Morning to you, Trev.
Morning, boys. How you going?
Oh, been better, thanks, Trev.
Yeah, me too. As much as I hate to say it, that the boys have got their footy trip organised, guess where they will be?
Where?
Insipid.
Thank you, Trev. Keep them coming in. 15 minutes and we're going to stop laughing about them. 0480 Police Home Care text line will give us a call. What is not laughing business is the $100 Kent Town Hotel voucher. That is good gear. We're going to be giving away that before 9 o'clock.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey. Don't get too close to the road.
She rides from the top of the driveway to test how fast she can go. And suddenly...
Wait, stop!
She's testing your brakes too. Stop and take time to ensure your car stops in time and the brakes are all you hit. Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
Final tickets are selling right now. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is about to sell out early, so now is the time to finally get your tickets. Don't look back on this with regrets. Lock in and unlock the $4.6 million grand prize. It's your last chance to win the mortgage-free life in Walkerville. Get your tickets today. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M147884.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
When it comes to retirement, make your choice Living Choice Australia. Join us on Wednesday the 24th of September at Living Choice Flagstaff Hill for information, tours and a keynote speech from former media professional Marcus Pearce. Marcus will share powerful insights on longevity, purpose and thriving in retirement while giving a vibrant new outlook on retirement living. Whether you're planning or exploring retirement living, join us on Wednesday the 24th of September at 10:30am. RSVP at livingchoice.com.au.
Get summer ready with TJM. Whether you're hitting the beach or heading off-road, TJM has the latest in four-wheel drive and camping gear to keep your adventure ready. Check out our brand new 270-degree freestanding awning, rooftop tents, camp chairs, fridges and everything else you'll need for the ultimate outdoor setup. Drive with confidence all summer long with TJM's range of bull bars, vehicle protection and premium suspension options, including GVM upgrades. TJM Nailsworth, Ranella and now Mount Gambier.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey. Don't get too close to the road. Wait, stop!
Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
12 minutes to 7. Remiss of me not to mention thus far, we have AFL Grand Final tickets that we are giving away. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, but it will be before Grand Final weekend, of course, because each and every day we have a clue that points you to a mystery football identity. Clue number 1 is not too far away on 5AA Breakfast, so stay listening.
I'm interested to see how this competition pans out, because in a rare turn up for the books, I was actually in one of the planning meetings.
Well, yes.
And I know a little bit about it, and I think it's going to be...
Well, that's terrifying. I have to turn your mic off every time we talk about it then.
I got no idea what the answer is.
Oh, okay, well, that's good.
I know what the
now,
the
of course,
mechanic
when
is.
we do grand final tickets, we don't just do grand final tickets. We do the tickets with flights and accommodation all included. AFL authorised GF promotion, GF AFL 24/148. Stay listening. Clue number 1 is not too far away, pointing towards a mystery football identity. You pick the identity first. You're going along to the AFL Grand Final, once in a lifetime opportunity. Let's head to the Weather Bureau. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson joins us. Daniel, take us through what's happening today. It's going to be warm and wet, and is it all going to be at the same time?
Look, this whole week is going to be all over the place. So we've started off with a fairly warm and clear morning. We do have quite a bit of wind about already. We do actually have a damaging wind warning out for parts of the Mount Lofty Ranges. Not the Adelaide Metro, though, but it still will be fairly windy and gusty over the Adelaide Metro. We're expecting to warm up to about 25 degrees or so. It will start to cool down once we see some showers developing in the afternoon and evening. Those will continue through Tuesday morning and possibly into the later parts of Tuesday, with the temperatures dropping down quite a bit to 17 degrees. We're going to stay to 17 on Wednesday with showers easing. Thursday, warming back up again, 24 and sunny, and then Friday we go back down to 18, wet and windy. So all over the place this week. Weather's going up and down. You'll pretty much be seeing any kind of weather you can think of this week.
Melbourne week in Adelaide. Good on you, Daniel. Thank you. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson there from the Weather Bureau.
All right, let's head to St. Paul. Senior Constable Liam Bennett's on the line. Liam, a motorbike rider took off from police and then crashed.
Yeah, correct. About 9 p.m. last night, a patrol stopped behind a Honda motorcycle at the intersection of Grand Junction and Walkley's roads. It's alleged the rider turned around to look at the police car and then took off through the red traffic light at very high speed on Walkley Road at Walkley's Heights. Now, obviously, due to this speed, the police didn't pursue, and they just searched the area in the hope they would find this motorcycle. A few minutes later, police were called to reports that a motorbike had crashed and lost control at the intersection of Walkley's Road and Montacute Road. And on arrival, the patrol located this same Honda motorcycle with crash damage, but the rider had run off. Further patrols attended and they cordoned the area, and the rider was located on nearby Handel Street where he was arrested. And he was taken to hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries, and the 27-year-old man from Paralawi has been charged with a raft of offences, including failing to stop, driving without due care, driving disqualified, and driving with a defaced number plate. And he was refused bail, and he'll appear in court later today.
Wow. Liam, also, crikey, what about this one? A drink driver, this is in Coopapedy, he's been caught 5 times over the limit.
Yeah, early hours of this morning, 1:30 in fact, patrols stopped a Holden sedan on Crowder's Gully Road in Coopapedy. That was just for a breath test, and the driver allegedly produced a blood alcohol reading of 0.252, as you said, 5 times the legal limit. And he was also drug tested, where he recorded a positive result for cannabis, and wait for the trifecta, he also was disqualified.
Yeah, right.
The 39-year-old man from the far north was reported for drink driving and driving disqualified, and he may be summoned in relation to the drug driving pending some forensic analysis. He was issued with a 12-month instant loss of licence, and his car was impounded for 28 days.
And Liam, also, this fire is still underway at the Somerset Hotel, is it?
Yeah, correct. So just before 5:30 this morning, police and fire crews were called to a hotel on Bridge Road following reports of a fire. Patrols and fire crews are still on scene, and now fire techs are on their way out there to do an examination. We're just asking people to take care in the area. Bridge Road is still open, but there's a lot of emergency services in attendance, so we just ask people reduce their speeds and keep a good lookout so we can keep everyone safe.
Good on you, Liam. Senior Constable Liam Bennett from St. Paul. Let's head over to the US. Miley Hogan from the 7 News US Bureau is on the Emmys red carpet this morning, Adelaide time, this evening over in the United States. Miley, welcome to the program. It feels a little bit odd. We usually have a raft of Aussies to talk about, but just the great Kate Blanchett on this occasion.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I know usually there's such a strong showing of Australian talent on every red carpet, but look, Kate Blanchett is the only the Australian flying the flag for us. She's been nominated for her role in Disclaimer Most outstanding female lead in Disclaimer. So fingers crossed she can get it. But I do want to give a special mention to two other Australian producers who've already won an Emmy. There's The Show Before the Show, and they won an Emmy for Love on the Spectrum. They are the producers of that program, and it's a very popular program here in the United States, so good on them.
That's Love on the Spectrum. That's the show on the ABC, is it not, Miley, about people with autism and their quest for love, isn't it?
That's the show. It's actually here in America as well. They have an American series, and it is still produced and put together by the Aussies. And I can tell you, everybody in America absolutely loves it. It is a fan favourite, and so people are really glad to see that one win.
At the end of the evening, Miley, which show would you guess we're going to be talking about as the one that swept all before it and won the most awards?
So it depends on which category, but I think the 4 shows you'll hear about will be Severance, The Pit, Adolescence, and The Studio in comedy. Those 4 programs are all expected to clean up this evening. The Studio, it is a comedy. It is very funny. It's by Seth Rogen. That is expected to clean up a lot of awards. It's got 23 nominations, but Severance is leading the nominations with 27. So those two could really take home a lot of Emmys tonight.
Good stuff, Miley. Thank you. Miley Hogan on the Emmys red carpet. You'll see all the wrap-up tonight on 7 News from 6 o'clock.
There's been a few messages along these lines, and we're going to have to raise it with him when he comes on at 7:20. Morning, Will and Dave. The Crows' loss can be traced back to one thing and one thing only, the production piece.
Oh,
evidence,
dear.
Nearly losing to West Coast, nearly losing to North Melbourne. Never play anything from Rowie again. Having said that, calm the Cats and the Lions, anyone but Collingwood and Hawthorn. And Stu in Craigmore, Poet Laureate of Craigmore. A poetic sledge, Stu writes. Hawthorn came, saw and conquered. At home in bed they are tucked. The Crows, poor buggers, were embarrassed. So truly and well they were plucked. Got to be careful reading that one.
Yeah, exactly right. That feels like it was worthy of the banner writing competition last week, Stu. Right. That was excellent. We have the $100 Kent Down voucher to give away. Who's going to get it?
Let's give it to Mark.
Mark? You've got the $100 Kent Town voucher coming your way. Book the balcony bar upstairs at the Kent Town Hotel. Your own bar for up to 80 people. Rob's made the point. We've got grand final tickets to give away. Crows fans might not want to see the Pies or Hawks again anytime soon because they're on either side of the draw, unfortunately. So
yeah, well, that's true.
There is a potential that's the grand final. I'd feel much better if that was the case, to be honest.
Reminds me
losing to the 2 grand finalists sounds much better. 2006.
Grosso, that diving bugger, when Lucas Neal gave away the free against...
the penalty, yeah.
The penalty against... sorry, I'm still in AFL mode. Against the Azuri. The fact that they went on to win made Australia's defeat much more swallowable, don't you think?
Well, and this most recent World Cup, Argentina went on to win, did they not?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think there's an argument we've been the second best side at 2 World Cups.
For sure. Well, we actually came closer to beating Argentina than almost anybody.
Yeah, Gary
last World Cup.
Speaking of great moments in sporting history, the Sydney Olympics opening ceremony was on this day 25 years ago. Where were you watching it? What were you doing? Were any of our listeners there? What are your memories of the Sydney Olympics? We are going to be talking about those after 7 o'clock this morning. We'd love you to be part of that chat. 8223 or text through your memories on the Police Home Care text line 0480 1395.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide. And if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
Life's a journey. As you grow older, every step should bring you more of what you want. And at ECH, they understand that. As one of SA's largest retirement living and home care providers, ECH offers more in every sense. More help at home, more support with your health, or the perfect new home to downsize to. ECH won't tell you where you should be, but they'll always support you to get more out of life. Visit ech.asn.au or call ECH today.
Our place is your place at the Albion Hotel. Your place to raise a glass to a big sporting win, a milestone birthday, or just making it through the week. Cheers. Your place to bring the entire family, including the kids and grandkids, for an amazing meal together. Your place to sit back and just soak it all in. The Albion Hotel. Your local, Your people, your place.
It's on now. Wayville Hyundai's demo clearance. Every demo has been priced to clear. That means a huge in-stock range, big savings, and ready to drive away. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au.
Refresh, reuse, renew. Take your hydration to the next level with a FIVEAA water filter, the eco-friendly choice when it comes to clean and sustainable hydration. Say goodbye to single-use plastic bottles and hello to purified water from the comfort of your home. FIVEAA's advanced water filter system removes contaminants, providing you with refreshing clean water, perfect for your reusable water bottle. Upgrade your water game today with a FIVEAA water filter.
FIVEAA, the purest water on tap.
When you're finally free to explore, don't buy someone else's idea of a road trip. At Lonsdale Marine and RV, every van we sell is customised to how you want to travel. Off-grid power, bigger fridge, smart storage, stronger suspension. Whatever your journey needs, we'll build it in. At Lonsdale Marine and RV, we're passionate campers too, so we know what works. Hit the road your way at Lonsdale Marine and RV, 30 Donegal Road, Lonsdale.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Up to the minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers developing in 25 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
For the best price, quality and same-day service, trust Complete Windscreens. RAA approved, Main North Road, Prospect.
There's been a fire at the Somerset Hotel. The MFS were called to Bridge Road at Para Hills just after 5 this morning. Senior Constable Liam Bennett says the cause is yet to be determined.
Patrols and fire crews are still on scene, and now fire techs are on their way out there to do an examination. We're just asking people to take care in the area. Bridge Road is still open. There's a lot of emergency services in attendance, so we just ask people reduce their speeds and keep a good lookout so we can keep everyone safe.
2 new opinion polls show support for the coalition has plunged to historic lows after a week of infighting. The Resolve Political Monitor and News Poll have the opposition with just 27% of the primary vote. Many coalition supporters appear to be shifting their support to One Nation. Labor has stretched its lead over the opposition by up to 16 points once preferences are taken into account. Well, a former ambassador to the US believes added defence spending might help the Prime Minister secure a meeting with President Donald Trump. A $12 billion down payment is being made by the federal government to help build the Henderson Defence Precinct in WA. It will become the main base for AUKUS subs in the 2030s. Arthur Sinodinos says the timing for Anthony Albanese couldn't be better ahead of a UN summit.
It's very useful because it's showing to the Americans that we're doing things, we're pulling our weight, we're bringing forward when AUKUS can happen. And that will, I think, reassure them that we are committed to doing it and doing what the Americans are telling everyone in the region to do, which is do more for yourselves.
For the first time in 30 years, the Prime Minister's Marrickville office has closed its doors. Anthony Albanese has been forced to shut the Sydney electorate office after protesters continued to cause disruptions. The opposition has described it as a win for political intimidation. Authorities have had no sightings of alleged police killer Desi Freeman as the search continues in Victoria's Alpine region. Assistant Commissioner Russell Barrett says police from across Australia and New Zealand are taking part in what they're describing as the biggest tactical policing operation in the country's history.
Our minds are open to all options, including that he's been harboured. That's been one of the considerations from day one, and we're still open to that being the case.
The Emmy Awards will be held today in Los Angeles. Only Murders in the Building, The Bear and Severance have a swag of nominations. Cate Blanchett is the only Aussie up for an acting award for Disclaimer, while Jean Smart is in the running for lead actress in a comedy for Hacks.
Who's like your dream man? The work ethic of John Rockefeller in the body of James Gandolfini.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Glenelg is on track for a rare three-peat after winning yesterday's preliminary final with a thrilling 2-point win against Norwood. They'll meet Sturt in the decider, and the league CEO, Darren Chandler, has told David and Will it should be a brilliant way to end the season.
It just sets it up for just a brilliant game of footy this weekend, and Two really, really strong clubs. They've got their reserves in the grand final as well, which is an outstanding achievement and a credit to the way they develop their young players in junior programs at both clubs.
Meantime, in the AFL, Luke Breust has played his final game for Hawthorn after rupturing his ACL playing for the VFL side. The Hawks will take on Geelong in the prelim final on Friday night, while Collingwood will host Brisbane in the other preliminary on Saturday. Well, after a 20-month injury layoff, Sam Kerr has made her return for Chelsea in the Women's Super League, scoring her 100th goal for the club in a 3-1 win over Aston Villa.
It's massive. When I signed for Chelsea, I never ever thought I would score 100 goals, and to do it for such a massive club like Chelsea and a club that I love so dearly, it's an amazing achievement and something I'm really proud of.
Meantime, Liverpool's made it 4 straight wins to start the EPL season on the men's side with a stoppage time penalty, enough to see them beat Burnley 1-0. While Manchester United's dismal start to the season's continued after going down 3-0 to Man City. Well, Jess Harley's through to the 1,500-metre final at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, while Reece Holder qualified for the men's 400-metre semi-finals. Australia's gone down to Belgium 3-2 in the second qualifying round in tennis's Davis Cup, and Brodie Kostecki and Todd Hazelwood have again shown their skills at the enduro events, the reigning Bathurst champions taking out the 500-kilometre event at the Bend racetrack. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there. Roads are looking really good for a Monday, which is the kind of thing you want heading into the working week. Simply Works to look out for. You find them at Bedford Park, Sturt Road near Bradley Grove, also at Hillbank, Blacktop Road near Williams Road, and getting busy at the moment, South Road at Carrouta Park, just near Anzac Highway. Cameras, Goodwood Road, Colonel Light Gardens, and Osmond Terrace at Norwood. Kangaroo is the heartwarming family comedy bouncing into cinemas these school holidays with an all-star Aussie cast, including Ryan Corr and Deborah Malman. Kangaroo is in cinemas Thursday. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a top of 25 today, but showers developing. Showers tomorrow 17, Wednesday a possible morning shower 17 and 24 on Thursday. Right now it's 18 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
6 minutes after 7, good morning. 2 of you joining us for the first time on this Monday, the 15th of September. On this day, 25 years ago, it was the beginning of 2 of the greatest weeks of sport in Australian history.
Away, Freeman out well, a mighty roar surrounds the stadium. Hogan Koya wide sailing, Freeman, they're holding their stagger early. Graham's gone out strongly in the back straight, she's in the middle, so down the back, Kathy, 3 from the left. Graham's gone out really hard to Guevara. Freeman going strongly up to almost halfway. She's 3 from the top. You can see Graham inside of her, probably in front. Mary's having a good run. This is where Kathy exploded in Atlanta. Graham's in front of her. Freeman's got work to do here. There's about 150 to go. Guevara and Mary are right up. It's going to be a big finish. Into the straight, Graham leads. Freeman runs up to her. Mary inside. Kathy lifting. Goes up to Graham. Takes the lead. Looks the winner. Draws away from Graham and Mary. This is a famous victory. A magnificent performance.
Oh, it makes every hair on the back of your neck stand up, doesn't it?
You know what would
One
be
of the
really
great
good?
calls.
Love Bruce. No one calls as well as Bruce McAvaney. But to take Bruce's commentary off that piece of audio and just listen to the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd.
The roar at
that
the
would
end.
have to be the loudest an Australian crowd has ever been.
It just takes you back to that moment, doesn't it? The build-up to that race. This whole 2-week period that started on this day 25 years ago, where were you? What were you doing opening ceremony day? 8223 We'd love to hear from you. Did you get to go to the games? What are your memories? Let us know. You can text us on the Police Home Care text line. We'll get to those very shortly.
Well, the lead up to the games was the huge talking point because it was months and months out. They had the ballot and they published it in all of the newspapers, and you had to go in and you could apply. It was a total lottery if you got anything or not. Getting tickets to the swimming, they were as rare as hen's teeth. And even for the journalists like us who were covering the games, the one sport you couldn't just rock up at was the swimming, because tickets were at such a premium that they said only the designated swimming riders are allowed to attend, because otherwise you have these hangers on there. But I reckon one of the best things I saw at the Olympics, one day I popped along to see some of the weightlifting that was at Darling Harbour, just out of interest. But there was Greco-Roman wrestling happening at the same time. And there were these two young blokes there who'd painted their faces green and gold, and they had Aussie flags and everything. And I went and spoke to them, and the only tickets they could afford were $19 tickets to go to the Greco-Roman wrestling. And these guys were just having the time of their life.
That's awesome.
But the funny thing was, there wasn't a single Australian competing. And they were just in the stand, just going, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Watching guys from Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan, grabbing each other on the bum.
It was an unbelievable 2 weeks. Give us a call with your memories. If you were there, we'd love to hear your stories. 8223 where you're watching the opening ceremony from. In the meantime, a bit of news to get to. A fire at the Somerset Hotel in Para Hills. April Cretan is there for 9 News. Morning to you, April.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, well, so what's the state of this fire?
Well, from what we can see at the moment, much of the damage is contained to the inside, but there's still a large emergency response on scene. We've got fire crews here, we've got police. They're investigating to see if it started in the kitchen. At the moment, it's not looking suspicious, but fire techs will be on scene shortly and they'll just work to investigate what sparked it. Now, Bridge Road is still open, but because of the large response, just be careful if you're travelling through the area.
Can you get any sense, April, as to how badly damaged the building is?
I think the size of the response is showing that it's probably quite significant inside, but we're still on scene and we'll just hang around to see if we can see any more damage when we get a bit closer.
Yeah, rotten start to the week for the poor owners and the staff who work there too. April Cretan there for 9 News Adelaide. Thank you.
The state government has opened a new 24-bed mental health rehab service at the QEH, the first of 3 specialist mental health units being delivered by the government. The Health Minister joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Health Minister, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will and Pembo.
So walk us through this measure, Minister. What's it mean for patient care?
Well, this is an amazing new building that we've just opened at the QEH, and it's the first of 3 of its kind that we're opening, with 2 more to come at Modbury and Noarlunga in the next few months as well. And it's trying to do a couple of things. Firstly, it's increasing capacity for mental health in our system. We just don't have enough capacity for people who need mental health care. Secondly, it's trying to do it in a different way, particularly give people a longer length of stay. We know that there's too much pressure at the moment for people to be discharged too early before they've had the opportunity for their treatment to work, to rehabilitate, to get back into the community. So this facility and the ones to follow are designed to really focus on people's rehabilitation so that they can properly integrate into the community and get the time that they need for that treatment, and reduce pressure, therefore, on the rest of the system as well, but also reduce pressure on the people bouncing back into hospital and it becoming a bit of a revolving door because they haven't had the time that they need to get that right. So we're really excited that this is opening, officially opened yesterday. First patients will be going in tomorrow with a team of psychiatrists, nurses, allied health professionals there to give people in this new unit the best possible treatment.
So this one will be at the QEH, the other 2 at Noarlunga and at Modbury. Clearly this is a response to demand. With demand being what it is, what's the advantage of having these units within the hospitals as opposed to building a whole brand new purpose-built mental health facility that can handle these people?
Well, the benefit is having them close to where the demand is. And so if we have one big centre, then you've got sort of less connections to the hospitals. This means that each local health network, we've got 3 local health networks in Adelaide, are going to have their own ability to manage their own local demand. So they're not, this one is a bit separate to the hospital. It's across the road, but it gives that ability to work closely with the clinicians in the hospital and get people through the system.
Just on that point, why is it best practice to have these sorts of things? Why a connection with a medical hospital?
Well, a lot of the people who obviously need treatment for mental health also need treatment for other medical conditions as well. Sadly, a lot of people have drug and alcohol issues. We are trying to get people, as many people as possible, outside of our emergency departments as well. So we've opened up an urgent mental health care centre in the city, and we've got similar ones at Elizabeth in the north, now at Mount Barker. We've also got them dotted around the country areas, Mount Gambier, Port Pirie, and there's more of them to come in the city as well. So for as many people as possible who need that mental health care to avoid the emergency department altogether is a great outcome. But there's some people, particularly those who've got drug and alcohol issues or extreme psychosis, that will need to go to an emergency department to be looked after.
Chris Picton, we had you on the show last week where you were talking about the blockages that are being caused for freeing up hospital beds on account of the lack of aged care places and the huge wait times for my aged care packages. There was the big health ministers meeting on Friday. My understanding is that you actually chaired the state health ministers meeting, and in the lead up, you were pretty vocal about the failure of the federal government to achieve what it's promised to achieve on the aged care front. Did any positive news emerge from that meeting?
Yeah, well, this is the first time that all the data from across the country has been revealed, and it shows that this is a real national issue that we're facing. Some 2,400 patients stuck in the system, beds taken out of the system across the country because people can't get into aged care. So that's the equivalent of 3 Royal Adelaide hospitals across the country that people don't need to be there. They're medically cleared for discharge, but they can't get into aged care. So all the states and territories, Labor or Liberal, all united on this issue. It's becoming a huge problem around the country. Mark Butler, to his credit, listened, understood that this is an issue, and has agreed to work with us to try to find some fast solutions to this issue. We're hopeful that's going to materialise, because otherwise, as our population ages, this problem's going to get worse and worse because there's just not enough aged care being built in this country to meet the demand.
Health Minister Chris Picton, thanks for joining us again on 5AA.
Some great memories coming through about the Sydney Olympics starting on this day 25 years ago. Trevor in Seaford, good morning.
G'day, how are you?
Good, thanks, Trev.
Well, this was an absolute credit to one of your commentators, Graham Corns. Yeah, he done the archery, and you'd think that he'd been an archer all his life. No, dead set. You can laugh all you like, but he had the highs and the lows of the voice, and you'd think he knew. He must have studied archery for about 10 minutes at least. But he was absolutely mind-blowing. If you didn't know Graham Corns, you'd think he'd been an archer.
Well, there was a lot of commentators that were, football guys or otherwise during that you learnt there's a skill to it beyond being able to do one sport. There was a lot of Australian commentators. There's one legendary story about a South Australian commentator who was on his way to call one sport and then got called by Channel 7 to say, hey, no, you're doing the judo. There's an Australian that's unexpectedly made the finals. Got handed a binder, like a plastic folder with judo rules in the cab, flicking through and going to call the sport live.
How'd you go?
Apparently brilliantly.
Really?
Trevor, that was great. Let's go to Happy Valley. Ben, good morning.
Morning, boys. So best thing about the Olympics for me is I was a uni student, so I could watch sport all day, but then I'd stay up at night time and watch Roy and HG's The Dream. And I tell you what, men's gymnastics has never been more entertaining. For those who haven't seen it, all I'll say is go onto YouTube and go #BatteredSav and flat bag, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Crazy date, shut the gate. It was the funniest thing ever, wasn't it, Ben? What was the mascot? Fatso the big-ass wombat.
Yeah. And you couldn't buy them. They became...
Apparently they only made 3 of them because they didn't want it to become some merchandise thing. Kerry Stokes has got one in a glass cabinet in his office, apparently. One of the 3 Fatsos that were made. But it became a thing with the athletes.
That's right.
And they did it. HG and Roy did it to annoy the IOC because they were trying to sell whatever, I can't remember what their names were.
Yeah.
Well, there was some, it was an echidna?
Yep.
Whatever the logos were, the official logos.
Everyone just wanted Fatso.
That's right. But he ended up on the dais. Some of the athletes, some of the swimmers had Fatso out there with them. And the IOC were like, it's not the mandated merch.
Yeah. It was 2 weeks of great Australian sport coupled with 2 of the greatest weeks in the history of Australian television because of that show.
Funny.
Laura, good morning.
Good morning, boys. I remember very clearly I had given birth to my second child a couple of days earlier and was at the Burnside War Memorial Hospital, and I named my son Austin, And very quickly, he became the chant of the ward and was Aussie, 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 boy, boy, boy.
Oh, that's so good. And the other good thing, too, about the 25th anniversary is how good is it to be able to reflect on a sporting event that brought us such joy 2.5 decades ago as opposed to a sporting event that brought us such misery 2.5 days ago?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Laura, that's fantastic. That would have been a fun way to remember the Olympic Games and young Aussie being a part of it as well. Let's check traffic. We're going to come back with Stephen Rowe, he's coming in for some treatment on the police home care text line, Rowe, isn't he? So. Because recriminations have started at Westlakes. Some people asking questions of Matthew Nix. Some people asking questions of how the side could have no a midfield that doesn't stand up at the pointy end of the season. A lot of people asking questions about the production piece.
They're all fair questions.
And I think they're all reasonable questions. Let's check traffic. We'll get into that with Rowie in just a moment. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luva House.
Morning there. Roads looking really good for a back-to-work Monday, which is a nice way to step into the week, isn't it? Do have some work to look out for. A little bit slow at the moment at North Plimpton for the works on Marion Road near the Anzac Highway intersection. Also, the train works making things slow this morning. We are getting busy south road at Mile End, both directions, and look out for works today at Flinders Park, Holtbrooks Road near Grange Road. Early morning camera, Adelaide Terrace, Edwards Town. Support Ronald McDonald House Charities and help keep families with ill or injured children together when they need it most. Visit rmhc.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
The whole thing about COP being held in Adelaide is hypocritical, but an invitation to the King to come here is super hypocritical. The event focuses on cutting greenhouse gas emissions, yet the King's 16,000-kilometre private jet trip clashes with the very goal.
Graham Goodings.
The single flight's carbon footprint rivals the annual emissions for dozens of Australians, which surely undermines COP's purpose.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Australia's cheaper home batteries program is here, and it's your chance to save thousands on a new home battery system with NRG Solar. With up to 30% off a battery installation, NRG Solar can help you claim rebates worth up to $18,500. Whether you're adding a battery to existing solar or starting from scratch, this is the moment to say goodbye to your power bills for good. Visit nrgsolar.com.au or call 1300 858 160 and get ready for lower bills and real energy independence.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Now, you wouldn't put your shoes on before you put your pants on, and apparently you don't apply your lipstick before your foundation, apparently. But at Lifestyles Lonsdale, it is best to do the last thing first, i.e. pick your tiles.
Lifestyles has every size, every style, all at prices that mean you don't have to compromise. Let the tile you love inspire the design of your bathroom or kitchen. If you're renovating, looking for inspiration, or you're a tradie trying to get the job done, there's over 60 years of experience in the Lifestyles team, so you can trust their expert service and advice.
So whether you're becoming an empty nester or simply want to update your home to add value, do the last bit first and start with your tiles. For designer tiles at warehouse prices, choose Lifestyles Lonsdale.
It's on now. Wayville Hyundai's demo clearance. Every demo has been priced to clear. That means a huge in-stock range, big savings, and ready to drive away. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au.
Life's a journey. As you grow older, every step should bring you more of what you want. And at ECH, they understand that. As one of SA's largest retirement living and home care providers, ECH offers more in every sense. More help at home, more support with your health, or the perfect new home to downsize to. ECH won't tell you where you should be, but they'll always support you to get more out of life. Visit ech.asn.au or call ECH today.
What's on your bucket list? Cruising around the world? Doing a hot lap around Bathurst? Learning how to play drums? Before you plan a bucket list, plan your will with Donlan Lawyers. A will, power of attorney and advanced care directive speak for you when you can't. It means you and your loved ones will be taken care of. Visit donlanlawyers.com. Put it on your bucket list. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 after 7, Tim's jogged my memory. It was Chris Dittmar I was thinking the story of before with regard to being caught up at the last moment. Thank you for that, Tim, on the Police Home Care text line. Also, we have grand final tickets to give away that will be happening maybe today, maybe tomorrow, definitely by next Friday. You have to guess a football identity. We give you one clue each and every day. That first clue is not too far away, so stay listening. You need them all if you want to get along. Flights, accommodation, tickets, all included. Trip of a lifetime. Everyone should get to one grand final in their life.
10 clues.
10, well, unless it goes off beforehand.
Well, someone might jag it today.
Someone might jag it today. Very unlikely, I would have thought. But they might. So that's stay listening, write the clues down, get someone in your family to do it, make it a team effort, whatever it's going to take. Make sure you get all those clues. The first one is coming up a little bit later. It's time for the recriminations.
Stephen Ryan on 5AA Breakfast.
Now, Rowie, we're getting a bit of feedback on the Crows' woeful finals performance. First minor premier to go out in straight sets in 42 years. First team ever to lose 8 straight quarters in a final. I mean, it's one of the all-time embarrassing finals performances. And so the recriminations are in reverse order. Crows midfield, Matthew Nicks. Stephen Rowe seems to be number one for the production piece. Rowie, do you want to defend yourself?
Well, I was going to start with an apology, so I'll get to that. But listen, to all those knockers, and there's plenty of them, you're right. We did go out in straight sets. Still got a few to go before we catch up with Port. Did they choke? Probably. First top team to drop out. Did they have a favourable draw? I cannot defend any of that. Can we? We just can't. And look, it's over for season 2025. For the Crows, I thought it was a great ride, although we were taught a very, very harsh footy lesson in finals. And here's the thing, I'd have rather have got there and got smoked than not to be good enough. Okay, and look, the minute Rankin said that F word, it was curtains. From there, it just dropped. That midfield needs an injection of class and depth of talent. Everybody in the footy world knows that. So it's over to the list management team and the development team. And again, let's hope they can do it. Here's the blue skies for me. Isaac Rankin, back. Get a Zach Bailey type. We can get him or not, I don't know. Sid Draper develops a season and pre-season into midfield and they play him. The same with Dan Curtin, develop in the midfield and play him. Josh Rochelli's another one. Dawson, the half-back midfield, a little bit forward. I mean, that's starting to look like a bit better midfield. The backs are great, the forwards are great. That's all they've got to improve on. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. The question is about when's the Crows' window? Are they in their window now? And if they're in the window...
100%, they are.
Okay, so if you're in the window, can you wait and have a development year of those guys, or do you need to get in someone who's ready-made?
Well, I do both, and they've been very, very good at doing that over the last 2 or 3 years. Look at the 3 they brought in this year. Look at the 2 they brought in before Isaac Rankin and Dawson. They've got to do it again. Let's say they get Zach Bailey. That's a totally different team again. They know what they're on about. They've got a boot up their bum, that list management team, and they've been bloody good the last 3 years. You couldn't fault them. So the challenge for every club, I think, is to be fit, in form and firing by September. The Crows had their bad luck toward the end of the year. This isn't an excuse. From round 23 onwards, they just didn't look like it. Now, there are reasons for that. They don't have a depth of talent through the midfield. That's the pure football stuff. But footy is it's a brutal game. It doesn't hand you anything. And at the end of the day, if I said to you that the Crows will finish 5th and play in 2 finals, you'd just about sign that off, wouldn't you? The problem is you get there and you weren't anywhere near it. I mean, God, they were taught a lesson against Hawthorn. Most of us saw not that sort of loss coming, but that's just it. That was in the end. And Port supporters, tee off. Yeah, go your hardest, mate. Sticks and stones.
Hey, Rowie, what do you think happens with Brodie Smith? What do you think happens with Tex Walker?
Well, it'll be Tex's call. I don't think it's Brodie's. It looked like, look, if he hasn't got a contract, I don't think he's going to get one. He did everything right. He was told he's not in their best 22. He went back to the sample, did everything right. When he was called upon, he always played well. So, look, if he thinks he's got footy left in him, that's a debate they're going to have with the coaches. But he's not holding anyone back, is he? Now, they could do the same thing for Tex. Hey, Tex, we're looking to move on. If you want to play on, you might not be in the best 22. Mate, he's still their best forward. Make no mistake about that. He is still their best. If I was on that list management, it probably wouldn't be Brodie, but it would be Tex.
It feels like it's going to be a big week ahead.
Yeah. Hey, and you used me as a reason there. I got smashed after the game. I got taught a footy lesson as well, you guys, on expectation, getting ahead of yourself, daring to dream, being seduced and coerced into production pieces and lifting lids and all that sort of stuff. And I've made myself a promise, okay? I'm not going to be guided or influenced again by the likes of Will Goodings, David Pemberthy and Scotty Camporales of these worlds that encouraged my behaviour and more than encouraged it, mate, actually enhanced it. So that's it. It stops, fellas, today. I've learned my harsh football lessons.
Are you calling us enablers? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am.
You might be right.
Mate, in your defence, can I just say, if you can't be totally irrational about sport, what can you be totally irrational about?
It's spot on. Absolutely. And look, hey, sorry I got swept up in the emotion of my team not finishing 15th. Sorry I got swept up that, could we actually win a final? Could we actually make September? Isn't that what sport's all about?
Correct.
Yeah. And now that it's come crashing down, get into me. Come into complete windscreens and put your hand on your throat and go, yeah, we did. You're right. You're happy. See you tonight at 4, fair dinkum. And I'm blaming you three and another bloke called Craig Munn, and he knows who he is.
He's gone after the boss.
Dangerous blaming management, Rowie.
Can I take that last one back?
We'll dump that. Yeah. Actually, I missed it. You stuffed. Sorry, Rowie. Good luck.
Hey, Pembo.
Yes, mate.
You would have had squeaky bum time if my little Nord man had to put that through the middle of the sticks and played Nord, because we would have got you.
Now, mate, they say bad kicking's bad footy.
I know.
I just want to quickly share a statistic with you.
I know.
Yesterday, Norwood kicked 7 goals, 13, which is exactly half of what Sturt kicked in the 1978 grand final, 14 goals, 26. So you finally learnt your lesson.
Love you, Pembo. You enabler.
Mate, you would have been a tough side to beat if you'd kicked one more goal. I feel sorry for you forward. That was a shocker.
That's a shocker. All right. See you at 4. See you, man.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers developing in 25 today with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Chipped windscreen. RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
The cause and damage bill from a fire at the Somerset Hotel this morning is yet to be determined. Nicole Bradley from the MFS says they were called to the Para Hills complex around 5 a.m.
On arrival, firefighters found smoke billowing from the laundry room of the property, locating a fire which had spread to the roof space. 36 MFS firefighters from 6 appliances and 5 specialist appliances, including 2 aerials to attack the fire from heights, were in attendance.
An Australian first in local public high schools. An AI chatbot is being rolled out from today. The software, known as EdChat, is being billed as a classroom companion. The Deputy Liberal leader is confident the party can win back the Australian public in the wake of shocking new poll results. The Resolve survey shows the opposition's primary vote has fallen another 2% to the historic low of 27% after a week of infighting. The polls show many supporters have shifted to One Nation, which has seen a 3% surge. Ted O'Brien says politics sometimes delivers some important lessons in humility.
And we're learning those lessons now, but I've got every confidence that we're going to be coming back and we will take a compelling proposition to the Australian people at the election, and that's the poll that matters.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese will travel to Port Moresby today for the 50th anniversary of Papua New Guinea's independence. Toby Goff reports.
Mr Albanese will attend anniversary celebrations and meet with PNG's Prime Minister James Marape. He says Papua New Guinea is one of Australia's closest neighbours and the truest of friends. Anthony Albanese says the two countries have a shared history, mutual respect and ongoing collaboration. He says the partnership with PNG strategy includes support for health, security, education, sport and agriculture.
The gunman suspected of shooting activist Charlie Kirk is not cooperating with police. Investigators are working to establish a motive for the shooting, which occurred at a university in Utah. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson remains in custody over the attack. Utah Governor Spencer Cox says it's not yet clear why he allegedly opened fire from a rooftop.
He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating, and I think that's very important.
And another Musk is in the spotlight. Elon's 16-year-old transgender daughter Vivian making her New York Fashion Week debut. Now turning to 5AA's sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
It's over to Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Glenelg is on track for a third straight premiership in the Sandful after a 2-point preliminary final win against Norwood. The Bays will now meet Sturt in Sunday's grand final decider at Adelaide Oval. Well, meantime, Essendon Vice-Captain Andrew McGrath admits he's disappointed and angry. Zach Merritt has met with Hawthorn coach Sam Mitchell. The former number one pick will meet with the Bombers captain today. Let's go to athletics. Aussie Jessica Hull has moved into the final of the 1,500-metre event at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo.
And let's look up the front because Jess Hull's going to get herself through to the final of the World Championships and she's going to be in with a big shot for a medal. Chepchirchir, Hull and Hilks, the top three.
Audio there thanks to SBS. To motorsport, celebrations for Brodie Kostecki and Todd Hazelwood at the Enduro race at the Bend after they won it yesterday. Meantime, Marc Marquez has again cemented his dominance in the MotoGP season after taking out the San Marino Grand Prix.
It has been another Misano masterclass from Marc. He takes the checker flag just over half a second clear of Bezzecchi.
Audio there thanks to Fox. It's Mark's 11th win of the season. His brother Alex finished third. In soccer, Erling Haaland has bagged a brace to help Manchester City cruise to a 3-0 win over fierce rivals Manchester United.
He's inside his own half, Haaland. He can't be offside. Manchester City looking for the third goal to put this derby to bed.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. There was one other game in the EPL overnight. Liverpool beating Burnley 1-0. And that's the 5AA sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Really good fourth run in today. Rakes and breakdown free. Having said that, do have a small bingle to look out for a little bit out of the way to Oakbank, Ungebring Valley Road near John Street. Bedford Park has works which are slow. Sturt Road near Bradley Grove and starting to build South Road at Mile End. That's both directions just near the Thebby Theatre. Cameras Adelaide Terrace, Edwardstown and Osmond Terrace at Norwood. Get the saving you really want with 3K off Ranger XLT Sport and Wild Track at participating Ford dealers. Only until September 30. Not available in conjunction with any other offer. Exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA weather, 25 and showers developing today. Showers tomorrow down to 17. 17 again on Wednesday with a possible morning shower, then warming up on Thursday to 24. Right now it's 19 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Right now at Formula Honda, drive away in the CR-V Hybrid 24 build from $56,900 or the Honda ZR-V Hybrid 24 build from $51,900. That's a price reduction of $3,000. Plus, get 8 years unlimited kilometre warranty and roadside assist across the entire SUV range. But you'd better hurry. These offers are only available until September 30. T's and C's apply. Test drive at Formula Honda today. Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury.
Since 1935, Resthaven has supported older South Australians. For more than 35 years, that support has also extended into people's homes where comfort, dignity and independence matter most. Our caring staff and volunteers have enriched the lives of thousands of older South Australians and their carers. Thank you for putting your trust in Resthaven. If you or someone you love needs welcome support at home, we're here to help. Visit resthaven.asn.au. Celebrating 90 years.
Join the great cover-up and get a Walco Guardian pool cover. Made right here in SA, a Walco Guardian pool cover will preserve your chemicals, keep your water clean, and you won't need to run your pump. Put your pool to bed for winter. Visit walco.com.au.
Is it big enough, Stephen?
What?
I said, is it big enough, the truck?
Oh, yeah, this'll do. This is huge.
So why are we moving all your fishing rods and nets out of the shed?
Well, I may have lowballed the number of rods and gear I have to the wifey, but I need a stealthy little clear-out that's required, Timmy.
And if she finds out?
I'll be booted out and I'm with you.
Beauty. I'll grab me golf clubs.
You're not having them.
Got something big to budge? Budget with a budget rental truck. Call 13 27 27.
At Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, the swear jar takes on a whole new meaning.
Tell you what, we needed one Friday night. The Urban Swear Jar. This is a good swear jar. It's about their pledge to do everything possible to make your bathroom or kitchen renovation experience the best it can possibly be.
Now, Sean is the guru of kitchens at Urban with over 30 years' experience, and Sean swears to deliver the kitchen of your dreams with minimum fuss and interruption to your home.
And then there's Aaron and John. They're the plasterers for Urban, and they both swear to always clean up after themselves. You'd never know that they've even been there.
For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
On the Cow IQ test, Fluorio milk cows come in at around 100, pretty much the national average. But when it comes to the milk our SA cows produce, it's unmatched. You don't need to be a cow Einstein to produce some of the best milk in the country. You do need the perfect grazing conditions, and the milk needs to be bottled on site and on shop shelves within hours. It doesn't get any fresher, any better, or any more SA than Fluorio Milk Company.
When it comes to retirement, make your choice Living Choice Australia. Join us on Wednesday the 24th of September at Living Choice Flagstaff Hill for information, tours and a keynote speech from former media professional Marcus Pearce. Marcus will share powerful insights on longevity, purpose and thriving in retirement while giving a vibrant new outlook on retirement living. Whether you're planning or exploring retirement living, join us on Wednesday the 24th of September at 10:30am. RSVP at livingchoice.com.au.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 8. It's 25 years today that the Sydney Olympics started. We're getting your memories of that magical 2 weeks in Australia. Where were you on opening ceremony day? Did anyone get to go? Did you go to the Olympic Games? What were you doing? Alan in South Primpton has called in. Morning, Alan.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you, Alan.
My experience, I invented a product that was chosen out of about 1,400 exhibitors. So we were 120 exhibitors at the Fox Studios on the day before the opening.
Oh, wow.
And 3,500 business people from around the world were invited to come and visit or look at the exhibits. So that was a one-off major experience for us. And I remember about 9 o'clock on the Wednesday night evening, Sydney went into a 20% increase in a surcharge on everything possible, taxi fares and meals and you name it.
Yeah.
And they also had an ocean cruiser moored at Darling Harbour where all business people and like the likes of ourselves as exhibitors could go along and entertain people or go there for meals. We were also invited to have go through the communications centre by a friend of ours, but there was a bomb scare. You probably remember that on the day, and we couldn't get in there. But as far as being an exhibitor over there, it was Sydney worked like a clockwork. It was absolutely marvellous to be there.
All of those volunteers did such a great job sort of shepherding people around, explaining to them how to get from Central to Homebush and everything. It was an amazing time, Alan, and what a great time for you to be there.
Yeah, what a thrill. Keep your memories coming in 8223 0000. Well, this will make it... If 25 years ago you said we would be covering a story about artificial intelligence being used in South Australian schools, you'd think it was something from science fiction. But no, it's here and it's very real. A new chatbot called EdChat, that has been trialled by about 10,000 students since mid-2023, will be rolled out in all South Australian public high schools from today. Now, what's notable about this is it's a closed system, meaning that anything that gets input into it doesn't become fodder for big tech companies in Silicon Valley. It's a closed system, so it all remains entirely private. And there's a host of users for this, both for teachers in marking and writing reports, but also for students to get them across how best to use this technology. Notably, I don't think anywhere else in the country is doing this. The Education Minister, Blair Boyer, joins us. Minister, is that right? Are we going first on this?
We are going first, and good morning to you both. And we made probably a call that wasn't without risk, to be honest, a few years ago. And Microsoft were looking for someone to partner with them in their own chatbot. And we put our hands up when every other state and territory had decided to ban AI. And to be honest, my first inclination was to do the same thing. I had a long conversation with Martin Westwell, our chief executive, who said, this stuff is here whether you like it or not. Kids are going to be expected to use it whether you like it or not. And what we can do is actually teach them how to do that safely, and including explaining the pitfalls of AI, or we can basically bury our heads in the sand and hope that this AI kind of phenomenon is going to go away. And it's obviously not. So we made a call to work with Microsoft, and we've done progressively rolled it out further to staff, and we're now at the point where from next year, a lot of students in the South Australian public education system are going to have access to EdChat.
So, Minister, could you give us an example of how it might work? Like, say a student is doing Year 11 English. What are the types of things that the bot is going to be able to help them do?
So, yes, that's right. Good question. And the best example that I've been able to give, David, is one where I got to sit down with a student from Mitcham Girls School and watch her use EdChat. It was in the infancy of EdChat. And she was doing, it's not so much English but history. She was researching Napoleon Bonaparte. And she had set EdChat up to play the role of Napoleon, and she was asking Napoleon questions about his life. So it could respond as though it was Napoleon and ask him different things about what he did in his obviously very famous story. But before she had got to that point, she had done her own research on Napoleon in the more traditional way to get an understanding of what the facts were. And then at the end of both those processes, compared the facts she had with what artificial intelligence told her. And that was done on the basis that we are constantly reminding our students who use this that it doesn't always get things right. In fact, there's a constant disclaimer there around AI, including EdChat, can get things wrong. You need to check. Other examples, though, are ones which are probably more understandable with maths. Students asking EdChat to give me 3 questions on a certain topic, give me a hard one, a medium one, and an easy one, and just testing themselves constantly like that. Testing themselves on language skills like French in preparation for an upcoming test. And we've also built into it some career advice. So if students want to get a bit of sort of basic advice around, I want to do this occupation, what are the kind of qualifications or skill sets out of high school am I going to need to be able to potentially be able to get that job?
I get the utility of AI as a research assistant. I use it all the time myself, and the power of it is remarkable. The downfall for educational purposes has always been, well, why let it do the research when it can do the whole assignment? You could just say, write me a 500-word piece on Napoleon, as opposed to interacting like that student had. Is there anything in EdChat that prevents students using it to do the entirety of an assignment?
There are safeguards around that. It is difficult to completely block students from being able to do that, but this is a question that I have asked so many teachers, when I've had the chance to talk to them in classrooms about our rollout of AI over the last couple of years. And I've said to them, because I remember these debates, as would you, when Wikipedia came in, because I was in high school when Wikipedia came in. Everyone said, it's going to be the end, particularly of essays and writing skills, because kids will just copy and paste. And some absolutely did that. And my old man, English teacher, and he always said to me, we know when a student puts in work that is not theirs. And I get the same response from teachers on AI. They know their students, and if a bit of work is put in, they're pretty good at being able to tell if it's something that student has prepared or if it's something that AI has prepared. And I think we've got to trust the professional judgment of our teachers in doing that. I think having them use EdChat in the last couple of years and get their own understanding and feel for it sharpens their skills a bit in terms of being aware of when students might be using it in a way that they shouldn't. So I have confidence that we can prevent that from happening. But you're right, it's always a risk around things like artificial intelligence and the internet that some students might use it to copy work.
And Minister, I've got to say, I'm a little bit iffy about one part of it, which is that teachers can use it to write school report cards. The example that's given in the paper is a teacher in a where are we here? Here we go. write a positive recognition for a Year 7 student who worked well in a numeracy lesson. Don't you want to get the richest possible and most specifically accurate feedback about how your child is performing, as opposed to some generic computer-generated, your child brackets X, insert name here, has shown great capacity for blah-de-blah-de-blah, where it's the computer that hasn't been watching the classroom that is just spitting out this sort of generic good student, mediocre student, poor student, pro forma feedback that might not actually be a really specific reflection of how your child's going?
I can tell you hand on heart, Dave, that they cannot use AI to write report cards. We have had a lot of conversations. I've made my thoughts very clear on this, and the chief executive agreed. Teachers are not allowed to use AI to write report cards. The only example I'm aware of so far where actually a teacher from Adelaide Botanic High School worked out a way of being able to use AI when they are doing what's called a leap levelling process. So a student is learning English as a second language, and a assessment has to be made by the teacher on where they are at in their progress. That assessment doesn't go towards any final score. The traditional method of doing that, where a student will produce a bit of work using their laptop computer, takes a teacher about half an hour to assess. This teacher at Adelaide Botanic High School worked out a way of putting it through EdChat, and it would do it in less than a minute. Again, no, that assessment doesn't go towards a score for that child at the end or student at the end of their year. It is just a way of being able to reduce workload for teachers, and I think there is some positive benefits we are seeing around that. But in terms of report cards, no, absolutely not.
Blair Boyer, the Education Minister, thanks for joining us. It's an interesting area. We have the Shadow Minister for Education, Heidi Girolamo, has called in as well. Heidi, what's your take on this?
Well, AI is obviously a part of the future, but the concerns I have is the accuracy of the information that's going in and whether it takes away from students' ability to learn. I think it's very important that we still have a real focus on numeracy and literacy and critical thinking, problem solving, things like that. And I do worry if AI would take away from some of that accuracy. We know that our results in our schools are falling behind, and we need to do more to make sure that the supports are in place. But I do think AI for a teacher is beneficial. The biggest complaint I get from teachers, and we know that there's a shortage of teachers, is the excessive administrative burden. So if there is ways that we can help in that space, then I think that's beneficial.
Thank you for that, Heidi. Heidi Girolamo, the Shadow Education Minister.
We got a text from Sue, and I'm not sure if Sue's making a joke or she's making this point seriously, but I think this is the future. Sue says, fellas, couldn't teachers just ask AI if the essay was done by AI? And it reminds me of a piece I read recently about people now advertising for jobs are so inundated with resumes because they've never been easier to write. Write me a resume for this job given my experience of dot, and it can put it together. So people now can apply for thousands of jobs where the work required limited how much you could apply for historically. So businesses are employing AI to review resumes that are now increasingly being written by AI. So you've got computers applying for jobs and those resumes being read by someone else's computer, and there's almost no human being involved in the process apart from the first person.
I just find all that stuff, everyone's going to end up sounding the same.
Yes,
like if you ever read someone's LinkedIn profile, they all sound like they're Boutros Ghali. You know, by the age of 27, I was heading up blank.
Your first mistake is going to LinkedIn, I think.
Well, I only ever use it for, trying to track people down for interviews. I've never actually posted on it.
A lot of life lessons on LinkedIn. A lot of inspirational stories.
Oh, dead set.
How I turned my personal tragedy into hitting my sales target for 2025. My 10 steps for excellence. Oh, my goodness.
What's that? What's it called? The 7 steps in Little Miss Sunshine? There's a lot of that going on LinkedIn.
Oh, dear.
But you know what I mean? But it's the sort of death by management speak. You know, I'm a self-starter, I'm this and I'm that. I'm in a proactive, focus-led solutions. And what does any of that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
That's why I like radio. I like coming in here without any notes and just the words just come out and you don't know where they come from.
Well, who knows? Craig Munn's been mentioned already this morning. Might be Dave, Will and Ed chat next year for the 5AA Breakfast Show.
Just fell off my chair.
All right, let's check traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luva House.
G'day there. Roads looking really good for the run in today. I do have a small binger to look out for, but she's at Oakbank, a little bit out of town. Probably won't impact you too much. On Coringa Valley Road near John Street. Sluggish at Bedford Park for works. Sturt Road near Bradley Grove. And we're starting to build Marion Road at the Anzac Highway intersection for those ongoing works there. Cameras Price Street, Melrose Park and 5 Drive at Pasadena. South Australia is building for today and tomorrow. Find out what it means for you. Visit saisbuilding.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right, it is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
You've built a life in your street. The neighbours know your name. The barista knows your order. But lately, you're coming to the conclusion that your home just isn't quite working for you. Well, not the way it could be anyway. If you've got a large block, get in touch with Metro Homes.
Metro specialise in knockdown and rebuild projects, and they're helping people all over Adelaide set themselves up for a solid future.
They can replace your existing house with 2 brand new homes on the same block, one for you, designed to suit how you live now, and the other as an investment property right next door. It's a smart way to stay put while setting yourself up for the future.
Metro take care of everything too, the design, the approvals, the build, everything. Build your future where you really feel at home. Go Metro. Visit metrohomesa.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Local and experienced trade specialists.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
4 minutes to 8. All last week we heard expert testimony and some local eyewitness accounts from people affected by the algal bloom to a Senate inquiry that was set up by the Greens. They were on location here in South Australia, hearing from people directly affected. And Sarah Hanson-Young joins us now on 5AA Breakfast. Senator, good morning to you. What was the standout piece of new information or evidence that you heard last week?
Look, I think the overall issue is that this is going to go for a long time, and even if the algae at some point dissipates, that the pain for local communities in particular, those affected along our coastline, the fishermen, the tourism industry, are going to be hit for years to come. I think the most devastating news out of what the scientists and the researchers are saying is that it could take years and years for our marine life to recover, and it's going to take a big effort to really help rebuild that habitat and give the fish somewhere to live and the marine life somewhere to live. So we need hundreds of millions of dollars in investment in our gulfs and along our coastline, and that's a lot more than what both state and federal government have given so far. I mean, the $28 million. I think it's a down payment. Let's say that, but we need a bigger commitment, and we need it very soon.
It's a good point with regard to the ongoing issues, the legacy effects on sea life as opposed to the immediacy of the algal bloom. I wonder, was there anything you heard from scientists or others that is a reason for optimism?
I did hear, and there's some really interesting work being done about how we can help re-establish and revegetate effectively our seabeds and our coastline, and that's what we're going to need to do. We need to rebuild our oyster reef. We need to reseed all of the seagrass that's died and to rebuild this habitat for our marine life. That's going to take a lot of money. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. But one of the best things and most positive things I heard was how much the local fishing industry, the fishermen and the people who live along our coastline want to be part of that. So they can't work fishing for the next 3 or 4 years. We could have them actually, protecting and restoring our coastline, and that would give them something to do, of course, give them a purpose, but also help them be part of what needs to be something positive, because right now it's all pretty doom and gloom. And just the heartbreaking stories I heard from the committee heard from families who have, their whole life has been on the water, all of that now ripped away. We need to do something to inject some positivity and some sense of empowerment back into these local communities.
That evidence, Sarah, from that poor bloke who was the calamari fisherman, that was just heartbreaking, wasn't it?
Oh, my gosh. It was absolutely heartbreaking. And, I think the fishermen have been really brave. I want to say that. I think, coming to a Senate inquiry and then, bearing how painful this all is not an easy thing to do. But also calling for governments to think quickly about what happens in our gulfs in particular, because we do need to let the fish restock. We need to give time for nature to be repaired. And that's not an easy thing to do, to call for, fishing to be halted in the Gulf of St Vincent and even possibly the Spencer Gulf. Obviously, there's fishing on the West Coast and that seems unaffected, but we've got to be thinking more medium and long term here. And if we want a sustainable fishing industry, which I believe we do, we want a sustainable tourism industry, we must have that. These are the jewels in our South Australian crown. We have to be smarter, and the fishermen are calling out for and crying out for something smarter, something more long-term, more sustainable, not just quick-fix politics.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah Hanson-Young there, Green Centre, at the wrap-up of the Algal Bloom inquiry. Thank you.
5AA News Time. Stay listening, though, because before 8:30, our first clue in the competition to give away AFL Grand Final tickets, flights and accommodation is going to be aired here on 5AA, which means your first chance to win is coming up in the next 30 minutes.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers developing in 25 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
There was black smoke over Para Hills this morning after a fire broke out at the Somerset Hotel. Crews were called to the Bridge Road address around 5 a.m. It started in a laundry room and spread to the roof space. Nicole Bradley from the MFS says the cause and damage bill is yet to be determined.
The fire was contained within 20 minutes and a further 40 minutes to fully extinguish. Quick action from firefighters prevented the fire from spreading to the remaining property.
A helping hand for teachers in our public high schools. An AI chatbot is being rolled out from today. EdChat can do a range of things like grade work and draft reports. Its introduction follows a recent trial involving 10,000 teenagers. Senator Jackie Lambie believes Susan Lee won't last until Christmas as opposition leader unless she takes control. 2 new opinion polls show support for the coalition has crashed after the sacking of Jacinta Price and associated bickering. The latest surveys conducted by the Resolve Political Monitor and News Poll show support sits at a paltry 27%. Senator Lambie says Ms Lee needs to show strong leadership if they're to stand any chance at the next election.
And I'm not sure the way she's going right now, with all due respect, is that she's going to last until Christmas time. If things aren't going well, you've got about 3 or 4 months to turn it around if you're going to change a leader over, because quite frankly, you've got 2.5 years then from a standstill.
The ANZ has copped a $240 million fine over betrayal of trust. The bank has apologised after being fined for widespread misconduct, including charging fees to the dead and misleading interest rates. There's been a surge in the number of STDs in Australia. More from Gail Watson.
Over the past decade, the number of people diagnosed with syphilis in Australia has almost doubled. Gonorrhea has almost tripled, while cases of chlamydia remain high. HIV, the only one that's on the decline. New national surveillance data being released to the Australasian HIV and AIDS conference in Adelaide by the Kirby Institute calls out the significant gaps in sexual health testing in Australia. They say higher rates of STIs are also being recorded among Australia's First Nations peoples.
Award season has arrived. The Emmys will be handed out today. Kate Blanchett is flying the Aussie flag with a nomination for Disclaimer. The studio on Apple has recorded 23 nods, including a nomination for Seth Rogen for lead actor in a comedy.
Yeah, I'm honoured, obviously, to be one of the people that gets to choose, which movies get made and which ones don't. That's huge. And I got into all this because I love movies, but now I have this fear that my job is to ruin them.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
It's over to Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. The fallout for the Crows finals exit will begin today at West Lakes. Chief among the decisions is whether Taylor Walker and Brodie Smith play on next year. Local Eagle and Elga through to the Sandford Grand Final after a thrilling 2-point preliminary final win against Norwood. And it was a good weekend for the women's sides with the Crows 21-point winners against Hawthorn to cement their spot in the top 8, while Port is up to 11th after a 2-point win over Melbourne. Meantime, for the first time this century, State of Origin will return to the AFL. Eddie Summerfield reports.
February 14 is the date. Western Australia will host Victoria in a State of Origin match in Perth. It'll be the first time since 1999 State of Origin has been played, and the first time since 92 the Big V have played the Sandgropers. Details on player availability and the long-term future of the concept all expected to be included in this week's official announcement.
Let's get to motorsport. Brodie Kostecki and Todd Hazelwood have taken out yesterday's Enduro event at the Bend racetrack in Tailem Bend, beating out Cam Waters and Mark Winterbottom. The Brisbane Broncos have moved into the preliminary final in the NRL after one of the most dramatic wins in recent memory, beating the Canberra Raiders in Golden Point. The Raiders will now host the Cronulla Sharks in a knockout semi-final this week. At the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Tori Lewis has missed out on a spot in the women's 100-metre final, finishing 14th overall, which is still the best result by an Aussie in 28 years. Meantime, Jamaica's Oblique Seville has been crowned the fastest man on the planet, winning the 100-metre final. Let's get to soccer. Sam Kerr's back on the score sheet, finding the back of the net in a 3-1 win for Chelsea over Aston Villa. While in the men's English Premier League, Liverpool had a 1-0 win over Burnley, while Manchester City thumped Man United 3-0. And in some golf to finish, Swede Alex Noren has won for the second time in less than a month, taking out the lucrative BMW PGA Championship in the UK, beating Frenchman Adrian Sadia in a playoff. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there at Aldinga, a smash on South Road near Aldinga Beach Road. Onkaparinga Valley, got a crash there at Oakbank, Onkaparinga Valley Road near John Street. Slow for works at Bedford Park, Sturt Road near Bradley Grove. And we're getting busy Marion Road at North Plimpton, just near Anzac Highway. Cameras Main Road, Blackwood and Adelaide Tourist at Edwardstown. Get the saving you really want with 3K off Ranger XLT Sport and Wild Track, participating Ford dealers only until September 30. Not available in conjunction with any other offer. Exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, showers developing for your Monday with a top of 25, showers tomorrow 17, Wednesday a possible morning shower 17, and then back to 24 on Thursday. Right now it's 21 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
No matter what your lifestyle looks like, if you have a home care package, you can choose who cooks your meals. Local Kitchen Co. is an Adelaide-owned, NDIS-approved provider dedicated to delivering nutritious, affordable, home-style meals straight to your door. Every meal is thoughtfully planned, made with fresh local ingredients and generously portioned. With weekly changing menus, there's always something new to try. So if you've got a home care package and you like your meals locally made and delicious, search Local Kitchen Co. and order today.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes.
A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Australia's Cheaper Home Batteries program is here, and it's your chance to save thousands on a new home battery system. With up to 30% off a battery installation, NRG Solar can help you claim rebates worth up to $18,500.
It's a lot of money, whether you're adding a battery to existing solar or starting from scratch. This is the moment to act. And I can vouch for NRG Solar. They're great people. Very reputable, very professional. They're ready to help you maximise your savings. And yes, systems installed from now are eligible.
NRG Solar are the local experts. They'll guide you through your options and help you lock in the rebate. Visit nrgsolar.com.au or call 1300 858 160 and get ready for lower bills and real energy independence. That's 1300 858 160.
Right now at Formula Honda, drive away in the CR-V Hybrid 24 build from $56,900 or the Honda ZR-V Hybrid 24 build from $51,900. That's a price reduction of $3,000. Plus, get 8 years unlimited kilometre warranty and roadside assist across the entire SUV range. But you'd better hurry. These offers are only available until September 30. T's and C's apply. Test drive at Formula Honda today. Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury.
5AA puts the spotlight on great NDIS companies like ADL Support Services. I've got Lisa River, founder and director, with me. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Leith.
Lisa, you've had a long career in nursing. What made you take the leap and start ADL Support Services?
After watching a close family member go through a long rehabilitation journey, I saw there was a real gap in awareness and support. So 8 years ago, I took it on myself to find a solution, starting the business around the dining room table with my 6-month-old baby by my side.
Well done. Can you give us an example of how you're changing lives?
The one that comes to mind is Gary. His world changed overnight after suffering a stroke. He lost his mobility, and living alone, he became really isolated. We were able to put some simple supports in place, like personal care and access to a wheelchair. That gave him back his dignity and independence.
Thank you, Lisa. Lisa River, founder and director of ADL Support Services. Keep listening for more great NDIS companies like ADL Support Services, changing lives across SA on Adelaide's 5AA.
Some things are worth waiting for, like tickets to your favourite concert, waiting for a nice bottle of Red to breathe, or waiting for the kids to finally unpack the dishwasher. But waiting to get your air conditioner serviced just before summer or winter really hits? It's just not worth the pain. Get in touch with Morford Air now for servicing or a new system. Put it at the top of your to-do list. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford Air.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
11 minutes after 8, breaking 8, not too far away. Also coming up, your first clue as you try and identify the mystery football identity that will unlock tickets, flights and accommodation for you to go to the AFL Grand Final. Clue number 1 is not too far away. It is the 15th of September. Today, 25 years since the opening ceremony of the Sydney Olympics. Graham Corns, who was called upon to call the archery, is going to join us very, very shortly. All sorts of people cast in unfamiliar roles for the Olympic Games.
Well, it was a good thing to be calling because it ended up being one of the high points for South Australia.
Simon
Fairweather, who now I think actually runs Archery Australia. I think he's
well, he's well qualified
in there. Yeah, but brilliant archer.
Yeah,
and Cornsey. What he doesn't know about archery isn't worth knowing.
Exactly right. South Australia's foremost archery expert, apart from Simon Fairweather. We're also going to be talking about the plight of bees on Kangaroo Island. Well, what we hope is not plight. Hopefully that is an incorrect description. There is a great deal of concern, though, about varroa mite, which has been discovered for the first time in South Australia earlier this month in the Riverland. So people on KI, as you might well imagine, given the importance of that industry and the uniqueness of it, are a little bit concerned that this might make its way to them. So we're going to talk about that after 8:30 today.
Going to that honey farm is in the top 10 things to do on KI.
Most certainly it is.
Wonderful, wonderful honey. They're Ligurian bees, I think, from Italy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, 12 after 8. It's time for Breaking 8.
Well, it was a pretty chaotic and hard-fought process with 3 different tickets doing the rounds, but the Libs got there in the end. They had their pre-selections for the upper house on Saturday, and as it panned out, in the end, the 2 best-known incumbents, Ben Hood and Heidi Girolamo, were endorsed as, respectively, the number 1 and 2 people on the ticket. The process took quite a long time. They had to vote for every single position all the way down to number 7. Our mate KD Singh ended up coming in at number 5, which probably puts him in an unwinnable position. He was only 4 votes off getting the 4th spot, which would have given him a reasonable chance of getting up. But the man who ended up at number 1 on the ticket, Ben Hood, is on the line now for Breaking at 8. Ben, congratulations. As I said, though, it was a pretty chaotic process. Have we seen... Is this the sort of first formal sign that the right faction of the Liberal Party has now completely fractured in South Australia?
Well, good morning, boys. It's always good to be with you. No, I don't think that's the case, Pembo. Look, at the end of the day, our grassroots members pick who they want to represent, unlike the other mob. And there's always different views in every party. But at the end of the day, the grassroots members made that decision. It's exactly what happens. And now our job's really just to get on with serving the people of South Australia.
I mean, John Howard used to coin the term the broad church for the Liberal Party, suggesting that it's a place that can accommodate a spectrum of views from the centre over to the right. Is the South Australian Liberal Party operating successfully as a broad church, do you think?
Look, Pimbo, I think it is. I mean, most especially the parliamentary team. We're a pretty unified bunch. We're all mates, and we are getting on with the job. You're right, John Howard did say we're a broad church. It may have become a bit of a cliche in modern times, but our grassroots members from across the board, and there's a range of different views there, got together on Saturday as they want to do. They cast their votes. And we've now got a ticket as we lead into the 2026 election. And again, this is not about the Liberal Party. This is about the people of South Australia. For me, that's all it's about. We've got to be talking about what our tradies want, what our nurses want, what our regions need, what our young people need, opportunity and aspiration. And that's really the only focus that we've got right now to ensure that we can serve the people of SA.
Ben, I know it was a federal news poll, but the score was pretty remarkable, the lowest primary vote ever recorded in news poll history for the coalition federally. And it makes me, I just wonder, given your remark about the broad church, is it time for a narrowing of that sort of broad church of ideas of the Liberal Party?
Well, great question, mate. And at the end of the day, I think it's great that we have a range of views and then trying to find that sort of narrow band to run on, because the people of South Australia, the people of Australia, they're busy getting on with their lives. You know, they've got higher energy costs, higher grocery costs. We've got road infrastructure in the regions falling apart. They just want a government that's going to get on and solve those problems, make the road as straight as possible, and then get out of the way so our small businesses can thrive, they can employ more people. That is my focus. I want to ensure that the people of South Australia have got a great alternative choice in 2026 with the Liberal Party, and we're just going to get on with it. I'm really glad I'm not in federal parliament, I've got to say. I've got my hands full with the SA Parliament, so really it's up to the feds with what's going on there, but my focus is 100% on the people of SA, as is Vincent and the rest of the team, and we've just got to get on with it.
So you don't buy into the theories? I mean, there was that pretty devastating state poll a couple of months ago, Ben. Has that spirit of pessimism infected the state party too? I mean, it's only barely 6 months until polling day next March.
Yeah, Pembo. Well, that polling was interesting, most especially the people who actually stumped up that poll, being the SDA. So you can always imagine it was always going to be a little bit not in our favour. No, there's no pessimism in the state team. We are chomping at the bit to talk to the people of South Australia about what it is they need. Because, again, I don't think I can say it enough. It's about them. It's about our tradies, our nurses, our families. It's not about the Liberal Party. It's not about the Labor Party. It's ensuring that the people of South Australia have got a great government to deliver the things that they need. And unfortunately, with Labor, we're seeing a lot of spend and a lot of spend, but we're not seeing too much more. I want to ensure that the people of SA have a great alternative choice in 2026. That's what we're going to give them. That's what we're going to be doing with this team in Heidi, Rowan, Thea, Katie and Belinda to get around this state, talk about our great policies that we have and that are coming up. Mate, and I'm pumped. I don't enter any race, not to win. I know it's going to be a hard slog, but we're up for it.
Just finally, Ben, the fact that you were happily returned as an endorsed candidate in the number one spot for the upper house, does that put paid to any speculation of you emerging in the future as a leader, or is that something that you may still consider down the track?
Well, Pepper, I think it was only a couple of weeks ago that I said that journos would be rocking up to my grave asking if I was running for Mount Gambier or if I was going to be leader of the Liberal Party. I'm top of the ticket for the LegCo, mate. I love the work that I do. I love that I get to represent South Australia in the Liberal Party. That is my only focus.
Ben Hood, Liberal MLC, set to be returned, you'd think, next year from the eminently winnable number one spot on the ticket. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, boys.
I've got to clear one thing up. It's become this completely absurd myth inside the Liberal Party that YouGov poll was paid for by the Labor Party or by the unions. It was done for free by YouGov for the paper on a promise that they're going to do a paid one during the election campaign. Polling companies are in the business of wanting coverage. They want exposure. They want name recognition because they make most of their money by doing polls for like Colgate, which coloured toothpaste tube is going to sell the most. That's where you get your money as a pollster. You get your publicity from doing political polls, ergo they did one for free. If the Labor Party or the unions were going to pay for a poll, they wouldn't pay for one that said Malinowskis is going to you-know-what it in at the election.
Yeah.
Romp home with a 30-seat majority. They would make it sound like it was close. So, I don't know, it's taken on a life of its own, but it's just not actually true.
19 minutes after 8, we're going to check traffic, come back with the first clue in our competition for AFL Grand Final tickets. And Graham Corns, who was there 25 years ago as part of the commentary team for the Sydney Olympics. We've got a nice text on that, in fact, from Leanne on the Police Home Care text line. It says, 25 years ago, my son-in-law, Alec Korch, came out to play in the Olympics with the Polish hockey team. Unsure how they went. He's now running his own business. They've got 4 children. They all play hockey for Seacliff, the powerhouse hockey club down south, with that magnificent club rooms they've got down there at the moment. I can tell you, I had a look. Leanne, Poles didn't qualify to the group stage. They had 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. And they knocked off Spain, who have subsequently become hockey powerhouses a bit too. So 4-1. So they was a little bit of joy for the Poles there on the hockey pitch.
What's
indeed
Poland's
your family.
best sport normally?
That's a great question. What do they do best at? I'm not sure the Olympic Games. They always win medals. No, not basketball.
That's more
Marcin
the Baltic states,
Gortat,
isn't it?
was the best player they've probably produced. That's a great. There'd be some of those disciplines. They tend to medal well. So weightlifting, maybe
shooting,
perhaps. I'm not sure. I confess, I'm not across it. They had some people running in the athletics last night. I saw that Bruce McAvaney commentating, but no winners, unfortunately. We're going to check traffic and come back with some. Not some, but one clue for you for our AFL Grand Final ticket competition. That's next. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof, designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luva House.
Morning there. A few big ones to look out for today. One at Kent Town to get a terrace to the Britannia roundabout. Not a great spot to have a crash. Another collision at Aldinga, South Road near Aldinga Beach Road, and a smash getting cleaned up. Not a big one, which is good, at Feberson, Phillip Street at Port Road. Busy right now, South Road at Mile End near the Febby Theatre, both directions, and a Camera Hallett Road at Stonyfell. Breakfast is sorted at Guzmani Gomez. Grab a brekkie burrito medium coffee for just $10. The $10 brekkie combo available till 10:30am daily at select GYG stores. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Here's an important air conditioning tip from Morford Air. Never give your teenagers control over the aircon remote. Your energy bills could go through the roof. Instead, for summer, set it around 21 degrees. It's the most energy efficient temperature. And if you turn it on early, before the teens are out of bed, your system will have less work to do, keeping your home cool all day. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford.
Now, when it comes to making your outdoor area something really special and comfortable, you can plonk one of those big chimenea things in your outdoor area, but is it going to make a difference? Not going to make a big difference? No way, Jose.
Absolutely not. For that, you need Big Difference Home Improvements, especially when it comes to outdoor blinds. Call Big Difference Home Improvements and see what a huge difference their outdoor blinds can make to your entertaining area, rain, hail or shine.
You can't mess around with outdoor blinds. You need them supplied and installed by pros like the team at Big Difference Home Improvements. You'll love the end result and the outstanding service they provide.
Big Difference Home Improvements also make a big difference when it comes to carports, pergolas, verandas and stunning timber decks.
So don't just make a difference, make a big difference. Visit bigdifference.com.au for a free measure and quote, or drop by for a chat at their brand new showroom at Hendon, right near West Lakes Mall.
It's on now. Wayville Hyundai's demo clearance. Every demo has been priced to clear. That means a huge in-stock range, big savings, and ready to drive away. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
A new battery rebate is here, and it's a game changer. The Cheaper Home Batteries program with NRG Solar makes smart storage more affordable than ever. Eligible homes and small businesses can save thousands, and households could slash power bills by up to 90% with a solar and battery combo. NRG Solar will guide you through and lock in the rebate before the masses catch on. Head to nrgsolar.com.au or call 1300 858 160. Don't wait. The smart move is to act now.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
25 after 8, the journey begins here and now to get you to the 2025 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be giving away a clue each and every day until the tickets are given away to an experience that will be not like anything you've ever had in your life. You've got tickets, you've got flights and accommodation all included to the big game. AFL authorised GF promotion, GFAFL 24/148. We are giving you clues that will point to a footballing identity each day. The first clue is 1990. 1990. Get calling now, 8223 0055. 1990. 8223 0055. Which AFL personality is it? 8223. Which AFL identity is it? 8223 0055. Your first chance. Just about impossible. It's ruled out, some people, but there's still a lot of people.
But what does it even mean?
Well, who knows?
Is it a birth year? Is it
they played there?
Debut year?
Yeah.
Who won the flag that year?
Exactly right.
Could be anything.
Get calling now. Have a stab in the dark. In the meantime, we're going to chat with South Australia's foremost expert on archery, Graham Corns, who 25 years ago got the call up to commentate at the Sydney Olympics. Of course, we marked the occasion today because the opening ceremony was today 25 years ago. Cornsy, good morning to you.
G'day, guys. I never thought archery could be so exciting, and I tell you what, it was amazing. And I was just sitting there I'd gone mainly as a spectator. I didn't have any role. And David Heath was doing the afternoons. They rang up and said, "What can you commentate the archery?" Commentate the archery. I got no idea, but it turned out to be one of the most exciting events. And Simon Fairweather won it, the South Australian.
Yeah,
he beat a delightfully named Victor Wanderlei from the USA. So that was a definite highlight.
So, Cornsey, how did you sort of bone up for it? What was your, when they gave you the call and said, "Look, can you do this?" You had to do a bit of a crash course on it. Did it take a while to wrap your head around it?
No, I've been watching it, so it was just a matter of calling it. So, everything's so quiet. You've got to be so quiet, and then bang, and you see where the arrow lands, and whether it's I can't remember even the scores now, but whether it's a 9 or a 10, and so there's that pregnant pause while the arrow's flying through the air, bang, it hits the target, and you can call it. And then when he actually fired the winning shaft, it was truly exciting. We'd been to the night that Kathy Freeman had won the 400-metre hurdles. That was a big night because Tatiana Grigorieva had won silver in the high jump, in the pole vault the same night. Jai Tarima won silver in the long jump.
That's
and
right.
Hayley Gabriel Messi won the 10,000 metre. I mean, it was just such an exciting 2 weeks. I can't tell you. I just cannot tell you. Poor old KG. He sort of got lost in the moment of it all. But I had to leave him to his own devices. But
hey, Graham, on this specific day, 25 years ago, it was the opening ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a story that you managed to get in, and you didn't have a ticket.
Well, that's another exciting moment too, because we had passes, and the passes had an infinity on it, a sign which means you could get into any event, but not the opening ceremony. But I thought, well, nobody's going to really know. I mean, so I flashed my credentials at the first gate, and they said, "No, sorry, you can't come in here." I said, "Well, you can't give up afterwards." So I went around to the next gate, and the dear lady, I said, "Look, the infinity sign means I can get into any event." And she sort of was a bit bemused. She said, and so she let me in. And I tell you, when I walked through that gate, I expected at any minute a security guy to go bang out of here. So I felt like I'd broken into the Tower of London to have a crack at the crown jewels. It was, and then I got a seat on the right by the finishing line, and as the parade went past, it was. I tell you what, I know I might sound a bit enthused, but it was just the most amazing time.
Yeah, I bet. Great.
Excellent.
Appreciate you joining us to share your recollections. Cordsey, Graham Corns, who you can, of course, hear on the Sports Show each and every Saturday here on 5AA. A couple of Saturdays away from now will be the AFL Grand Final. If you want to get along, you need to make a guess in our competition to work out who this mystery footballing identity is. We've given one clue this morning, 1990. Brian in Aberfoyle Park was the first caller through. Brian,
Yeah, boys.
Hard work being the first one to have a stab, but anyway, let it rip and let us know how 1990 factored into your thinking.
I reckon it's got to be Bob Hammond. He had a big part of the Crows forming in 1990, so that's my guess.
Oh, I like that thinking.
That's a good guess.
That's a good guess. Unfortunately, it's the wrong answer, but it was a good guess, Brian. Thank you.
It was a good guess.
I like the way he was thinking, though. That's outside the box. Is often the way you've got to approach these sorts of clues. Another clue tomorrow. Another chance to win tickets to the AFL Grand Final, flights, accommodation, you name it. The trip of a lifetime. It could be you. Stay listening. The clue can come at any time, and your chance to win tomorrow morning on the show.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers developing in 25 today with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
For the best price, quality and same-day service, trust Complete Windscreens. RAA approved, Main North Road, Prospect.
There's been a fire at the Somerset Hotel. The MFS were called to Bridge Road at Para Hills just after 5 this morning. It started in a laundry room and spread to the roof space, producing a large amount of black smoke. The cause is under investigation. Almost 1,000 properties at Balhanna, Oakbank and Woodside are without power after a serious road crash on Onkaparinga Valley Road. They could be offline till early afternoon. Police and emergency services are responding to the crash at Oakbank. Road closures are in place. Well, a driver has blown nearly 4 times the legal limit while breath tested with a child in the car. It happened on Anglevale Road at Hillier. The hatchback was stopped after being busted doing 74 in a 60 zone. A 34-year-old man allegedly returning a reading of .229. He's been summoned to front court. Well, the federal opposition is slamming the shutdown of the Prime Minister's electoral office in Sydney's Inner West. More from Jack Hahn.
While Anthony Albanese holds the highest office in the land, this morning he is without an electorate office, booted out of the building in Sydney's Inner West that's been occupied by the federal government for 30 years. Over the past 3 years, it became a significant place of protest, often weekly, and at times stopping people from accessing the church next door. That was the key concern for the landlords, the Anglican Church, and one of the main reasons why the Prime Minister decided not to renew his lease. He is promising that he will find somewhere else in his electorate.
The ANZ will pay $240 million in penalties, admitting to widespread misconduct. The major bank has been fined for incorrectly reporting its trading data to the federal government while managing a $14 billion bond deal. ASIC Chairman Joe Long says it's also been fined for other misconduct affecting 65,000 customers.
ASIC has now taken action against ANZ in 11 civil penalty proceedings in just over a decade.
The penalty still requires the approval of the federal court. Well, the stars have hit the red carpet ahead of today's Emmy Awards in Los Angeles. Only Murders in the Building, The Bear and Severance have a swag of nominations. Cate Blanchett is the only Aussie up for an acting award for Disclaimer, while Jean Smart is in the running for lead actress in a comedy for Hacks.
Who's like your dream man? The work ethic of John Rockefeller in the body of James Gandolfini.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And it's over to Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Footy first. Glenelg has a chance for a club first three-peat after coming from behind to beat Norwood by 2 points in yesterday's preliminary final. The Bays will now take on Sturt in the season decider. Meantime, former Sydney boss Richard Collis says the AFL's 18 clubs have been treated with absolute disrespect in the race to replace Commission Chairman Richard Goyder. Well, a brilliant driving performance from Brodie Kostecki and Todd Hazelwood has seen them take out the enduro event at the Bend racetrack. The pair won Bathurst last year and again showed why they're a force, Kostecki paying tribute to his teammate post-race.
I get to share the car with a bloke like this. Did an awesome job. Gave us a good margin to settle into the race. And the stint before last, the car was sort of a little bit too edgy for me, so we tuned it up and was able to just manage the gap to Cam and bring it home. So super stoked for everyone.
Audio there thanks to Fox. After a 20-month injury layoff, Sam Kerr has made her return for Chelsea in the Women's Super League, and she scored her 100th goal for the club in a 3-1 win over Aston Villa.
Sam Kerr back doing what she does best. A goal that will mean the world to someone who knows what that goal-scoring feeling is like, but has missed it for the best part of 2 years.
Meantime, in the English Premier League for the men, Liverpool is 3 points clear on top after beating Burnley 1-0, while Manchester City smashed Man United 3-0. To tennis, Australia's gone down to Belgium 3-2 in the second round of qualifying for tennis's Davis Cup. In cricket, Australia's women have enjoyed an 8-wicket victory against India in their one-day in Chandigarh. Phoebe Litchfield awarded Player of the Match. That was for her 88 off only 80 balls. And Aussie Tasha Flint has won gold at the World Boxing Championships in Liverpool, taking out the 80-kilogram division. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there. A few Bengals to look out for. One at Kent Town, Togetherville Terrace near the Britannia Roundabout. Another one at Theberton, Phillip Street at Port Road. And got a Carvey pedestrian to look out for. A bit out of town at Oakbank on Green Valley Road near John Street. Busy Marion Road at Anzac Highway for those ongoing intersection works. And a Camera 5S Drive at Pasadena. The Chemist Warehouse Footy Finals half-price vitamins and cosmetics sale is on now. Stock up and save today. Shop in-store or online now at Chemist Warehouse. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, 25 for your Monday, showers developing, showers tomorrow 17, a possible morning shower Wednesday 17, and then warming back up on Thursday 24. Right now it's 21 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The Kia Tasman reviews from car expert Irene.
That is ridiculous. Unbelievably good in terms of stopping distance.
But don't believe the experts? Test drive a Tasman today. Tasman, the best ute you've never driven.
Kia, movement that inspires.
When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your grandfather's war medals or your mother's cherished piano that was passed down to you. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com, Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour. donlanlawyers.com.
It's always nice to have mates to help you out, but what if you need a ute or van? Well, that's when you need a mate like Matt from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide.
I'll tell you what, Matt's got me out of strife on many occasions. He runs the depot at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. He's an absolute legend. Doesn't matter if you're moving house, picking up something that's too big or messy for your car, or if you've just got a predilection for going to the Thebarton dump once a month, Matt and Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, they've got you covered. And just ask for 5AA mates rates.
Matt has it all. Moving trucks, big and small, single and dual cab utes, 4x4s with canopies, small and large vans, 12 to 22 seat buses, all the latest models and all ready for short or long-term hire.
You can trust your mate Matt. He's a great bloke at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, always keen to help out. Jump online at avis.com.au or call 8241 5200.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right, it is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
When deciding on a gas fireplace for your home heating, you may think they all look the same. Well, at the gas shop, we're more than happy to
turn the lights down low. So you can see how different each one is. That's a beautiful thing. Heating, cooking, comfort, turn on to the gas shop. 161 Unley Road, opposite Target.
Looking for exceptional early learning and care for your autistic child? Discover Anglicare SA's Daphne Street Autism Specific Centre. Our state-of-the-art facility in Prospect is run by a skilled team who offer expert education, specialised therapies and a play-based curriculum designed for individual growth. With a focus on early intervention and inclusive care, we ensure every child's unique needs are met. Give your child the best start with Anglicare SA. Visit our website to learn more. Anglicare SA, where every child's journey matters.
At Edwardstown Mazda, we've got something no one else in Australia has. We have Advantage Plus. That means 5 years factory warranty, an extra 5 years mechanical protection, 10 years roadside assistance, even a guaranteed future trade-in price no matter how you pay. All on top of reduced showroom exclusive pricing. No wonder they're the most reviewed and highest rated dealership in Adelaide.
It's gotta be
Advantage Plus. Only at Edwardstown Mazda.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 to 9. If you've just tuned in, you missed clue number 1 for our AFL Grand Final ticket competition giveaway. Don't despair. Didn't go off. Surprise, surprise. Clue number 2 coming tomorrow morning. Make sure you have a network of people that tune in to write down all the clues if you can't commit to listening to 3 hours, because who knows, we might drop it at 6:15 tomorrow. We might drop it at 7:30. Might be at 5 to 9. It's going to happen tomorrow, though. Clue number 2 is not too far away. A really disturbing, concerning story in South Australia, primarily for the bee and honey industry in Kangaroo Island, which, as we know, is unique around the world, but unique because elsewhere the bees there are incredibly susceptible to environmental changes and external threats. And KI, being this wonderful environmental sanctuary that it is, it's been allowed to flourish. Well, there's a risk to that, and it's entered South Australia, called varroa mite, detected in SA for the very first time earlier this month in the Riverland. So there's a great deal of concern about the potential for this to reach KI. The Shadow Minister for Primary Industries, Nicola Centofanti, joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Nicola, good morning to you.
Morning, David. Morning, Will. Thanks for having me.
Not at all, Nicola. So what can be done to stop this virus, this parasite rather, from arriving here? And is enough being done, do you think?
Yeah, and look, there's certainly a variety of treatment options. Obviously, when the varroa mite first arrived in New South Wales, they tried the eradication process. That was unsuccessful. So we've now gone into the management phase. But I think what's really important is the role that FIVEAA has to play in this. It's absolutely critical. The capacity to respond swiftly and effectively. I mean, I think, realistically, we would have liked the might to not have entered South Australia so quickly, but there does need to be a balance. A collapse in bee population is not just a beekeeper's problem. It's a direct threat to our food security because, without bees, most of our valuable crops just can't set food. That's the almonds, the apples, the citrus, the grapes, countless vegetables. They're all dependent on the pollination. And then that has a flow-on effect as well for the affordability of our fresh produce on those supermarket shelves. But back in 2022, I raised significant concerns when the government abolished the Deputy Chief Executive position at FIVEAA. And it seems that we seem to be growing bureaucrats at rapid rates in areas such as the Premier's Delivery Unit, but yet cutting them in critical departments such as FIVEAA. And through contacts in the industry, it's my understanding that South Australia has been without a bee biosecurity officer for over 900 days. That's phenomenal. And it's this kind of reactive nature, not proactive nature of the government that I think is really frustrating the industry. So, resourcing is absolutely critical. I think the other important thing is that FIVEAA has just arrived in South Australia, but the face-to-face training sessions, which are run by the National Management Program, have wrapped up. They're no longer doing face-to-face training sessions, and so they're just doing online resourcing, and I just don't think that cuts it. And so I've called on the Minister to ensure that those ongoing face-to-face training for beekeepers here in South Australia continue on because, these guys need all the help that they can get. They're on the front line of this pest and they need just that practical, accessible, in-person training to try and protect their hives as best as possible.
On another matter, Nicola Centofanti, in your capacity as Shadow Minister for Primary Industries, you've done some work on the mass fish kill that happened at West Beach near Sardi. This was at the adjacent fish nursery where they suffered catastrophic losses in November last year. Our own Matt Abraham is a mad fisho and a great journo. The moment this happened, he said, pardon the pun, he said there's something fishy about this. Well, the FOI that you did suggests that it could actually have been linked to sand dredging.
Yeah, and look, can I just say, at the time of the fish death, the Minister sort of insisted that there was, nothing to see here. And she rejected not just the opposition's call, but the Parliament's calls for an independent inquiry, and then, left Sardi to conduct its own review. And that report obviously was, dropped late on a Friday during gather round, mind you, and suggested that it was inconclusive, even though water samples weren't even taken at the time of the death. So, all really fishy stuff. And we questioned the report. We were ridiculed. But we've done some freedom of information requests and, periodically got those documents back. And they show that Sardi's own executive director raised concerns really early on about the mortalities correlating with the dredging trial. And, the first draft appears to have identified dredging or specifically the sulphites that are stirred up from those dredging spoils as the likely cause. But then we've got email trails, that between Sardi and Dew and EPA suggesting that there's been, some quite significant political interference into this investigation by Sardi, suggesting edits to the draft. And then obviously we've got the final report, saying it's inconclusive. We know that there's been at least 6 draft reports and the government are refusing to release any of them, citing cabinet incompetence. And, I think the biggest issue most people are concerned about is that how can Dew, who ran the dredging trial, and then the EPA who monitored it, not just vet the investigation and the report, but alter it. Both of these departments, I think, have a clear conflict of interest. The agency responsible for the trial shouldn't be able to comment on, but let alone, even worse, alter the investigative report into its own activities.
We have got the Minister on the line. We'll put those points you raised to her, Nicola Centofanti. Thank you. Claire Scriven is the Minister for Primary Industries. Can we ask you, Minister, this piece that Andrew Huff wrote in the Tiser about the dredging, it says here, internal government documents lay bare high-level concerns the state government's $20 million mechanical beach dredging trial was to blame for the fish deaths. Is that the case?
The investigation looked at anything that could have contributed to the deaths of larvae. Remember, we were talking about larvae and fingerlings, so very early stages in sea creatures' life. So obviously they looked at anything that had been raised as a possibility. Now, there was no evidence whatsoever to link dredging to the larvae deaths. So they looked at multiple lines, they looked at pathology reports, the environmental water quality data, the oceanographic analysis of the coastal water movement, as well as the dredge sand and site maintenance activities, which you would expect. You would expect that all of the information that was available would be looked at to see if any cause could be established. Now, there wasn't a cause established by looking at all of that. So,
but didn't it also say, just quoting from one of the documents, it said the only aspect that can be identified as being a different source of local activity was the sand replenishment trial. Doesn't that sort of sound like it's saying it's the most likely thing that's changed that could have affected or caused this?
Well, I think what we need to be careful of is that correlation is not causation. So something happening at the same time doesn't mean that it was the cause. Now, SARDI was very keen, of course, to try to find out what caused the larvae deaths. I think everyone was very keen to find that out. There was an investigation done. There was an independent review of that investigation by a very highly experienced expert in civil and environmental engineering. He confirmed the findings from SARDI's investigation. No one has been able to provide any evidence, which is what we've got a basis on.
But isn't that like
dredging has caused this?
But isn't that the least surprising thing in the world? Because clearly, all of these different government departments have got a vested interest in making sure it doesn't look like the government stuffed this up.
Well, I think all the government departments have got a vested interest in making sure that we find out all of the information, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, if departments had not worked together to provide as much information as possible, then that would have been a cause for questions. But, I mean, this report came out, I think it was back in March. I do question why 6 months before an election, suddenly Nicola Santofanti and the Liberals are trying to bring this up and say, oh, it was all about sand dredging.
I think you probably just answered your own question there.
well, indeed. Learnings from the situation have already been implemented. They've introduced a range of different operational measures to make sure that there is more information available in the event of this happening again. But I think the Liberals do seem to be really clutching at straws on all sorts of things at the moment, trying to find cover-ups where no such thing exists.
Claire Scriven, the Primary Industries Minister, thank you for that. Tell you what, I reckon 3.5 years ago when Malley said to Claire Scriven, look, we'll make you Minister for Primary Industries, don't worry, it's not really much of it's not a very dramatic portfolio. Since then we've had mites that enslave bees, we've had algae that suffocates fish, we've had Rugo brown tomato rot and sand dredging allegedly killing innocent fingerlings. It's been an action-packed dance card for...
She must be a Crows fan. Yeah, they get all the crap jobs in the Malinauskas government.
You're picked doing ramping.
All right, let's check traffic. In a moment, we might talk footy and the Malinauskas government because they've been... I reckon the Premier would be furious about this, beaten to the punch when it comes to the return of State of Origin football. Traffic first, though. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Louver House.
Seeing a few lanes of the smash at Kent Town at the moment. Decateville Terrace near the Britannia roundabout. Theberton, collision there too. Phillip Street at Port Road. Oakbank, another smash. Ongebring Valley Road near John Street and West Low for works at Bedford Park Street Road near Bradley Grove. Getting busy at the moment. South Road at Mile End, both directions with a camera 5-ash drive at Pasadena. Heading to work, swinging at Coles for delicious in-season produce, like an abundance of sweet, hand-picked 100% Aussie strawberries. Available now at Coles. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future. To build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
At Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, the swear jar takes on a whole new meaning. It's about their pledge to do everything they can to make your bathroom or kitchen renovation experience the best it can possibly be. It's a commitment their entire business takes seriously, from their incredible design team through to their selections and tradespeople. Every person at Buy Urban is invested. They swear by it. Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Dive back into the fun with Seafood and Sounds at the Adelaide Central Market this Friday and Saturday. The Much Love event is bringing the vibes, good times and the very best of South Australian seafood.
This is such a good event, and there's so many great seafood places in the market. You've got CC, Fair Seafood, Angelakis, you name it. Now, the program includes local live music, roving performers and cooking demos by iconic South Australian chefs. Then, the ever-popular Chili Crab Shack is back. There'll be loads of street eats and seafood specials. And for the kids, Saturday morning brings free sea-themed fun, including an art workshop and ocean-inspired face painting.
Bring your friends, bring your family to the market for Seafood and Sounds. Go to adelaidecentralmarket.com.au for the full program and bookings.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
Get summer ready with TJM. Whether you're hitting the beach or heading off-road, TJM has the latest in four-wheel drive and camping gear to keep your adventure ready. Check out our brand new 270-degree freestanding awning, rooftop tents, camp chairs, fridges and everything else you'll need for the ultimate outdoor setup. Drive with confidence all summer long with TJM's range of bull bars, vehicle protection and premium suspension options, including GVM upgrades. TJM Nailsworth, Ranella and now Mount Gambier.
The Battle of the Ages is back with the one and only Anne Edmonds.
To keep the millennials happy, we'll give everyone a participation medal.
New Talking About Your Jam starts 7:30 tomorrow on 10.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
5 minutes to 9. We've got some advice through from the Nurses Federation that nurses and midwives are going to be rallying today outside the Gawler Hospital. Then tomorrow at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. They're describing this as part of momentum building for the deadline for the government to present the Nurses Federation with a respectful revised pay offer. So that is an escalation in their view of the negotiations that are going on at the moment.
Hard one to win for the government.
Well, the people love nurses
the two
and
toughest
midwives.
Groups, yes, cops and nurses. They're the pay disputes you don't want to see go off the rails if you're the government of the day.
Well, the combination of performing a role that everyone sees as essential and everyone's had brushes with, and no one thinks they're millionaires. Well, so it's a deadly combination. Exactly right. So that's taking place today.
Officers. That was an easy one.
That's a different kettle of fish.
The government to hold the line on.
Now, another thing that's happening in the next couple of hours over in Perth, Andrew Dillon, the CEO of the AFL, will be joined. I'll read you the official language because it tells you a little bit about how this has come about. AFL CEO Andrew Dillon will be joined by representatives from the Western Australian government for a major announcement. This is, of course, going to be the State of Origin game that's going to take place between Victoria and Western Australia. It's going to happen at the game, and the announcement a little bit later this morning will take place at Optus Stadium in Perth. Clearly, the Western Australian government have stumped up a bit of cash to make this a reality.
Well, they got cash to stump up too. They're the only state in Australia that's got a whopping budget surplus.
Exactly,
they got money coming out of
money
their
is
ears.
no object.
They'll build 6 new stadiums.
So
for it.
I think South Australian football fans will say, "Hang on, what? State of Origin without South Australia?" But the question is probably a different one for us in breakfast compared to what it is for the sports show. The question I think for our audience is, do you want to pay for it? Is it a worthwhile thing for taxpayers to pay for? And I reckon when you put it through that lens, it's far more questionable. I'd love to see it, but do I want people the government putting their hand in their pocket for it?
What does it look like though in 2025? What does the South Australian State of Origin side look like?
Not as glorious as it did in 1990, I can tell you.
No. Who's in it? Who are the Victorians that come back and play? Well, Wanganeen Miller.
That'd be nice.
That'd be good.
If Will Day was fit, he'd be part of it too from Hawthorn. Yeah, I mean, there are some. If it's a one-off, does it have meaning? I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to my favourite version of this, because like anyone who was my age, State of Origin was the first thing that I cared about, and the thing I cared about most in football as a kid who was little and starting to like it in the late 80s. I reckon my dream scenario would be you have a proper State of Origin style World Cup tournament every 4 years. Every 4 years.
Like a sort of the way they do with the EPL, where they've got, different spin-off tournaments like UEFA and all that sort of stuff.
Well, the World Club Championship do it. So players only get to do it probably once or twice in their career, if you're lucky. So it'll mean something. You don't want to sit it out necessarily for injury, and you could build it up and make it into a proper event every few years. It's not something that people go, stuff I don't want to do this year because I'm having a bit of a hard pre-season or so forth.
But don't you think, though, that the sort of emotional response of Crows supporters to what happened, the terrible events of Friday and the previous Friday, is that now we've got no interest really, no massive interest in the rest of the finals? Because it sort of feels like our state
is out.
We're out. And if pressed, most Crows fans would probably say now I'd like to see the Lions win because of the sort of anti-Victorian sentiment that's sort of hardwired into our DNA. Origin doesn't work the way it used to in an AFL world.
No,
because all the allegiances have been muddied. I sort of worry that if they do it, it would be like, when bands that are past it get back together and you go and see them and you go,
you're going to lost the magic.
I just don't think it would be there's no way it could be anything like it was back in the days of Kernahan and McDermott and all of those blokes.
Are you saying from a competitiveness point of view?
As a spectacle and as a who gives a you-know-what. I just don't think that enough people care.
Oh, I'd care. I'd love it.
Would you?
But maybe I'm just nostalgic for something that's dead. Like, as you say, using the band analogy.
I didn't have you down as the nostalgia guy, Will.
Nah, I must be having a moment of weakness.
You're an emotional wreck after the last 2 weeks of football.
Don't worry. I'll get the answer by punching it into my AI. 8:55. Graham Goodings is coming up. That's all from us on this Monday morning. We'll catch you tomorrow from 6 with another clue, another chance for you to get to the AFL.